how do I put it? It was like, what do you care about them? What do you care about those people? What difference does it make to you? Take care of your own life. Do the best you can for you and your family. What do the rest of the people mean to you? They don't mean anything to you. They're just serfs. They're just people. You know, what's the end goal? The end goal is to get everybody chipped, to control the whole society. They want a one-world government controlled by them. Everybody has an RFID chip implanted in them. And if you're like me or you, and you're protesting what they're doing, they can just turn off your chip.
Historical moments of time.
Welcome back, everybody.
We have a unique but rapidly shrinking window of opportunity.
Some of you thought I went to Mexico. Wrong, bitches. One more show left.
Led by the private
It's Rise
sector.
Above, everyone.
The Great Reset is a welcome recognition that this human tragedy must be a wake-up.
Praise to Ronald McDonald.
Economic Forum boss.
Big up Esoteric Night of Malta in the studio. Hang tight on my beats.
Precisely how the most powerful forces in the world are lining up to use the COVID-19 crisis.
I've got something I want to get off my chest.
Climate change focused.
A little something I've been preparing this week.
They are not hiding this stuff. They are shouting it.
They asked me to get a lateral flow.
Even more reason why your ignorance is inexcusable. But back to the Great Reset, the World Economic Forum boasts on its website that the only
Oma Beats on production. Welcome to the show, everybody. Let's start as we mean to go on.
Our economies, our politics, and our society.
Yo. Fuck a lateral flow. I come with a multi-dimensional lyrical blow, straight to the dome. Any covey or weasel, let it be known. Rise above the parasite force. You could come with a tank of a horse. You could drive at me at 33 miles per hour in Bill Gates' Porsche. You could get blunt and torch. Judgment Day, natural law. Lord Schwab and your global cause. I will put your plans on a total pause. We remain tougher than leather. Do your worst, I recatalyze better. Don't survive at the end of your tether. Thrive in the greatest apocalypse ever. Students of the timeless hypothesis, they're better in the greatest apocalypse. Some play where the prophet lived, but a polymath plays where the knowledge is. The same place where the demons and God exist. Play of a syncretist. Since Master Lee taught me the synthesis, I feel powerful like I was made for this. Unallowable, hidden and infamous. Unaccountable, wicked as impetus. Yo, they illuminate pyramids with reverse occult photosynthesis. Wave the banners of war. NPC's what you're stammering for. I grip on the mic like the hammer before. It's double LMC and I'm hammering more. Slap Hermes and grip the caduceus. But it's time to the flames of Lucius. I'm the messenger now, eternal occurrence, nothing ain't new to us. I bun that down to the nucleus. You can't force feed, no truth to us. I've been preparing before the uterus, trying to expose, mate, what they're gonna do to us. Yeah, what do you know about that? Like Blue Peter, here's one I prepared earlier. Welcome to the show, everyone. I thought we'd start with a little musical interlude. Big up Oma Beats. Let's say hello to Andy PG.
Mate, that was killer.
Thank you very much.
That was killer.
I almost fucked it up twice. Let's say hello to Rob, Esoteric Night of Malta. Welcome to the studio, mate.
Can you hear me? Yeah, we can hear you fine, man.
You got to hold the mic a little bit closer, like you're kissing a beautiful lady.
Okay.
Can you check that's plugged in? Oh, wait a minute. I think it might have become unplugged down there. Carry on speaking, Andy PG.
So, yeah, guys, last show before we have a little break over the solar cults worshipping period at the time of the year. Obviously, Lance is off to Mexico to do some shamanism with some very prominent people over there, aren't you, Lance? You're going to meet old Mr. Santos Benetti.
Fingers crossed, I am,
Fingers crossed, you're in the same region at the same time.
Can you speak again, Oma Beats?
1, 2. You can't hear a word of me.
No, that's not coming through.
I can hear it. Yeah, I can hear it. I can hear both of you guys. Guys, in the chat, can you let us know who you can hear and who you can't? I can hear everyone loud and clear through my headphones.
Let me turn channel 3 up.
Who's got
I
what?
think it's headphones, man. Headphones on.
No, it's not. Your mics aren't working. They were earlier on.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, mate, I'm
yeah,
I've got.
Sorry, they're just not as loud as us. Let me turn them up a little bit more.
1, 2, 1, 2. No, I'm not.
No, they can't hear it. You can.
Oh,
Can you check the connections?
LL and PG only.
Oh, well, all right. Well, let's not dwell on that. Andy Home will sort that out in the background. Right. In the Guardians, welcome to the stream, Master Lee. How's it going?
Salutations.
Salutations indeed.
Salutations, master.
How was the lateral no test?
I didn't do one. I'm just anticipating what I'm going to have to do for my trip to Mexico next week. But I've oh god, I tell you what, maybe I should start with a fucking story about those. Looking at like booking a test, you're apparently supposed to do a test on day 2 and day 8 of your return.
Day 2 and 8.
Yeah. You can do the test at home. Yeah, right. Some places want 180 quid
Per one?
For 2 PCR tests.
Oh, so, right, okay.
I shopped around. You can get them for $2.99 if you collect them from Stockport. Then I found somewhere that was 30 quid. I was like, okay, that's reasonable. I can pretend to do a PCR test for 30 quid if I get to go on my honeymoon.
Mm-hmm.
Then they'd sold out.
And for £500, you can choose your result.
Yeah.
It's my time off work.
Hogdown Munch says, Lance, simply tell them to fuck off. I could, do you know what I mean? If it was a case where someone was actually going to be putting a swab inside my nose, then I obviously wouldn't do it. But the fact is that, you know, I'm not going to be putting a swab in my nose. That's all I need to say. So, yeah, we've got to do what we've got to do if we want to leave the country at the moment.
At the moment.
Can you...
I'm not playing their games.
Fiddle with the
I
knobs
don't
down
think
there?
I'll be going snowboarding this winter. I was talking about that with Mr. Knights of Malta here at the back, who's also partakes in the snow sports in the winter time.
Yeah, although I will not wear a mask.
No, none of it.
No ski mask at all. Okay, how many people we got tuned in? 211. Let's share the stream, everyone, and let's get some more people tuned in. They're just sorting out the audio issue. That little box was definitely working earlier on. It was definitely working.
So you're still. Oh, we got someone in the chat here. So Mateo, I'm going camping in the New Forest, Andy PG. Awesome. Well, lovely place, mate. There's loads of cool places to go. There's actually still mushrooms growing, actually like magic mushrooms. If you want to go and partake in them as well, there's a few spots over there. So yeah, enjoy that.
The New Forest is a magical wonderland for all to behold. We're very lucky to live near it.
Absolutely.
It is lovely, the New Forest. So, what's going down tonight? I'm still playing around with all these cameras. See,
Well,
one extra person in the studio, it becomes mayhem. Let me turn that camera off.
The infinite content creator has been busy for us this week.
It certainly has. I mean, me and Master Lee had an epic midweek this week.
Yeah, mate. I phoned in tonight.
Yeah.
It's
We
nice
had
to
we had a call in from yourself.
What's going on there?
Oh, sounds like something is connected now.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good to have Ring give my take on that. I was quite pleased. Great chat you guys had. Went into some depth as well. Sorry about this, guys. We're highly unprepared here tonight in the studio.
Yeah, it took me about 30 minutes to get online tonight.
Did it actually?
Yeah.
What's that? Just due to your connection, or?
Yeah, it sometimes makes you wonder if you're being targeted, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because it works. It works all the time. Unless it's a Friday night or Wednesday night.
Well, surely though, if they were going to target it, they'd just stop you from getting on at all.
Yeah.
Either that or they've done a terrible job. They've done a shit job, which I don't think with the day and age we're in and technology that they would end up doing a shit job. I'm sure they could interfere with someone's internet.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think that all this AI is what cracked up to be.
No, I agree. It's not going to be my god, that's for sure.
I tried to pay for a cab to the Christmas market the other day, and the one time I didn't have cash on me, really strangely, didn't have cash on me. Went to pay for it. It's like, oh no, the card's not working. I waited for like almost half an hour to get the card machine to work. I ended up having to go out to the cash point and get and
and they want to inject their tech, and something like that doesn't work. A simple card transaction.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been waiting for a parcel for it's about 10 days now, and I've been stuck in a loop with AI and bots and stuff because they refuse to speak to you. It's all done via communication with a bot.
And that's all by design as well. That you just end up going round and round in circles.
Yeah. Well, apparently it's en route to me, but it was delivered on the 3rd of December. So work that one out. So
being delivered.
It tells me it's delivered. Ouch.
Well, that was Word Nerd. Hello, welcome to the stream, Word Nerd. I just entered you and he went. Hello. There he is.
808 tone or something.
Yeah, that was. It sounded. We thought we were at the Travis Scott concert. Word Nerd, are you calling us from the future, from a post-apocalyptic wasteland?
We can't hear you, Word Nerd.
Testing.
Oh Yeah, it's working now.
Better.
Yeah.
There we go, Knights of Malta.
I'm back. I'm here.
Yeah, welcome to the stream, Rob. Now we can hear you.
Good.
Word, no, we can't hear you. No, sorry, mate.
You've got
mic issues.
What a poor start to the
Can
show.
you now?
Big up everyone tuned in.
Yeah, that's better, mate. Just turn your mic
Good
on.
evening, above Rizians.
Oh, mate, yeah, it sounds terrible though, Word Nerd. You're going to need to reset your shit.
No, I'll reset it. May the force be with you. Got some interference in.
Sorry. Sorry, we can't be having that.
Right, so we're also... Aim Beats, are you loud and clear?
Well, yeah, I will be in
Right.
5 minutes time.
Okay.
All right.
Because we can't have the ladies not listening to Aim Beats' soft, soothing
They'll miss
tones
his,
to
they'll
the
miss his
evening.
voice. Right, so I need to start off by saying a big shout out to everyone that's bought T-shirts this week. They're absolutely flying out the door, and I'm told that all the hoodies are going live on the website tonight, if they're not live already.
Nice.
So we've got loads of designs on there. Yeah, so it's a massive help to the stream. Everyone that's purchasing T-shirts, they will come out very quickly in time for Christmas. I think you can order them right up to like December the 18th. Yeah, the designs are looking heavy. Many different designs, many different variations. But
I love the Reject the COVID.
This is the one that's outselling them all. It's outselling every other T-shirt at a level of like 33 to 1.
33 to 1. Who'd have thought it?
Roughly something like 33
33 to 3.
Funny number.
Yeah, funny old number, isn't it? So, yeah, big up everyone that's purchasing the T-shirts. All of the other merchandise is going up very, very shortly.
Boom, we have full power.
There we go.
Look at that. You sorted it. Boom. Something must have got knocked.
13 minutes into the show.
13 minutes into the show and we finally got everyone sorted. So welcome Oma Beats and Rob, Esoteric Knight of Malta. We've got a full panel here and we've got Inner Guardians.
And we will have Word Nerd.
Word Nerd will be back very shortly. Now, before we do the epic presentation with Rob, which is, what's it called, Rob?
It's called The Hybrid Age, and it covers many subjects, really. Going into ancient civilizations, genetic engineering.
Nice human origins.
The modern Nephilim, demons, parasites, many subjects. Many
Awesome.
subjects.
So what you're trying to say is it's the full rabbit then?
Yeah,
Yeah, absolute whole fillet of rabbit.
Dissection.
The whole cut. All right, okay, we're cooking on full gas. Right, let's get this little screen share back. So yeah, if you want to purchase any Rise Above merchandise, it's riseabove.news/shop. Please check out the website for more. Right, as we need to start every show, right, let's say our praise and our thank yous to Ronald McDonald, because tonight Rob is going to be presenting some pretty scary shit. We hope we're wrong.
Yeah, absolutely.
It'd be nice to be wrong.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to be a Ronald McDonald.
It's not. Unfortunately, it's not really a very positive presentation. But it is real, and people need to realise what's going on.
Absolutely. No. Just because something makes you feel uncomfortable doesn't make it any less true.
No, absolutely not. So yeah, all raise your glasses, get down on your hands and knees, and pray to Ronald McDonald that everything we say tonight is wrong, and none of it is going to come to pass because yeah. Trigger warning, some pretty scary transhumanist shit is coming up tonight. What else have we got in the meme show? So I talked about anti-Coviet, right? Anti-Coviet.
This is brilliant.
It is brilliant.
They've done a really good job at
I remember when we were describing this meme only last week. It was, and here it is. So on Wednesday night, I said, anti-Coviet, I don't know how this appeared on my phone. Please get hold of me. She emailed me straight away. She also sent this as a follow-up. Yeah, what are we saying? We like it. Anti-Coviet's in the house, motherfuckers. So the meme team is very strong. I think we've got 8 or 9 members. No one's messing around with the Rise Above meme squad. We'll take anybody out. Anti-Coviet's got more.
Welcome to Plan B.
That is actually Plan B getting his awards, isn't it?
Yeah.
Quality. Got his COVID pass hanging out of his pocket there.
Like I just think that, yeah.
Like a right obedient peasant.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, welcome to Plan B peasants. Let's just get rid of that graphic there so we can properly appreciate that meme.
On that note of mainstream music shills,
go on.
Mark Devlin's Musical Truth Volume 3 has launched now, guys.
Big up Mark Devlin, each and every.
Just to let you know, I've personally got Volume 1 on audiobook, which I play at work.
Nice.
And force other people to listen to it. I find that's a good tactic. But yeah, I'm definitely going to get Musical Truth 2 and 3 because 1's so good.
Yeah, well, we'll get Mark Devlin back to talk about his new book for sure. Big shouts to Mark Devlin every time. More from Auntie Covia. This is obviously a homage to the Rise Above team. She's got a hamper, little Dorothy. Auntie Covia has got a hamper full of memes, the meme squad. We've got Omar Beats as the Tin Man. He can keep a nice pace, but he's got no heart. Especially when Lance tells him to please only play one more tune. Absolutely no heart at all. That's why he's the Tin Man. I guess I'm the courageous but hapless lion. I'll take that one, okay. But Master Lee, how do you feel about being the Scarecrow?
Well, it's a tricky one, isn't it? Give me a little while, and I'll come out with some very deep esoteric meaning.
I've got my tinfoil hat on, as you can see.
This is brilliant.
Omar Beats is like literally the tinfoil man. Fucking quality.
Lance,
yes.
You look strangely like Gilgamesh, which will be in the presentation.
Oh, really? I'll take that as a compliment. Like Gilgamesh, nice.
And hello, Master Lee.
He actually does.
Hello. Yep.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, pleased to meet you. Yeah, I'm looking forward to your presentation.
Yeah, it's good. We're going to get into some very esoteric topics.
We're all looking forward to it. It's going to be deep. Yeah. More memes. Listen, I'm getting contacted left, right, and centre. This is the latest person. He calls himself the Magician. He comes into my inbox. He's like, "Sup?" Just SUP, sup. And he's like, "Look at he just posted this." I was like, "Whoa!" I was like, "What do you mean, sup?" I was like, "You could drop a meme like this in my inbox. Do you watch the show?" He's like, "What do you mean you watch the show?" "Of course I watch the show. Rise Above. You want more?" I was like, "What do you think? Do you want a T-shirt?" He's like, "I'm going to set up a Discord server for all of the Rise Above media, so we can like conglomerate." I was like, "Magician, like welcome to the team, bro. Look at this. Fuck Normicron. I'll crush you with my bare hands."
That's a beautiful meme.
Do you reckon is that the same tag as the Magician, the rapper?
Surely not. He's in China, isn't he?
Well, I don't know. It says the Magician RBS. This is all I know about this person.
Nah, it can't be. I fucking hope it is, but I can't.
I mean, look, this is a powerful meme lord to have on side. So welcome to the Rise Above team. To get on the website,
Absolutely.
Tell me what T-shirt you want, and I'll send it to you. Welcome to the team. With memes, we will win the war, comrades. We will win this war. Next. So I know I showed this on Wednesday, but it's so good, I'm going to show it again.
For fuck's sake.
Like, Sagehead, you need a T-shirt as well, Sagehead, because these memes are dangerous. There's so much detail with like peri or myocarditis as a side effect dip with your Rooster Booster burger. We're not mucking about here at Rise Above. This is the level.
The mystery.
The Schwab Colonel. Okay, yeah.
Limited edition forever. You can never get rid of this booster. It's just so deep. Love it. But anyway, I don't want to dwell on old memes. Right, this is a first piece of conceptual Rise Above art. This is made by Exoline, one of the new members of the meme squad. What does this say to you? Can you describe it, Sandy PG?
Victims of the Britney Spears concert. So this is a playing field full of dead Britney participants, I would think, and then you've got the crowd gobbing off at Boris Johnson on screen now. Right, and then all the loosh harvesting led to the moon.
And look behind the moon. It's got like the
Matrix.
Matrix. It's like the inside of the dome.
Yeah, this is brilliant. This is great if you actually look at it.
It's like a piece of art. You've got to sit back and look at it. And see what it says to you. It's not like jumping out.
Yeah, the tombs to say that the screen. Look at it. The screen is blocking off the vision of the tombstones to the people that are shouting it. They'd rather shout at Boris Johnson than. The crowd is saying you've lied. Shove your ultimate protecting up your ass and fuck you and your Xmas party.
I'm pretty sure the crowd ain't saying that. I think they're saying something like this.
It's Britney, bitch.
Yes, I did a silent gosh then. No one heard it, but I still said it. Yeah, Master Lee, what do you reckon to this? I called it the bread and circus harvest ritual.
Yeah, food for the moon.
Yeah, really.
Although the moon's not feeding on souls in this one. I think it's sort of negative karmic sludge.
Yeah, low-grade slurry, metaphysical slurry.
It'd be like the McDonald's of the cosmic loosh realm on the menu.
Yeah, fast food.
Yeah,
definitely.
2 for 1.
Sports Direct
in a Denny's.
God. So I've got this on the screen. I did show this on Wednesday, but I didn't even mention it. For anyone that knows this story about Stalin in his
this
chicken.
is horrible, man. But it's
Fucking
very,
straight on the
it's
deep
very
end with these
symbolic,
memes
though.
Yeah,
It's very symbolic if you actually look at the.
It is the last show of the year, weren't nerds, as if I was going to muck around with the memes tonight. Come on.
That is what he said, isn't it? That was a very powerful metaphor he used for controlling people, right?
Yeah,
Am I right?
you can-
Stripping their freedoms away.
He plucked a chicken with all its feathers, like really hurt it, and the chicken was like, fucked. And then he just chucked it a couple of grains, and the chicken came back clucking. And he says, "Look, this is how you treat peasants." So yeah, very fitting.
Remember, you are not a chicken.
Yeah, we are peasants, not chickens. This is, again, I'm recycling this one from Wednesday because this is what Virus Man came up with off the back of the debacles in the clown show, the peasant pantomime this week. But since this one came out on Wednesday, Sagehead tried to sort of like top Trump's Virus Man.
Right.
So because Master Lee, do you remember what your description of what the meme was when you asked for it? It was like, was it like some spontaneous combustion?
Yeah, with graphene oxide and
carbon,
flames coming off them.
Combination.
Spontaneous normicron combustion.
Yeah.
So this is what Sagehead came up with.
So it's a conscious explosion.
Yeah, conscious shock. So this is the normicron conscious shock, and you've got an exploding normie. There's black goo splattering out. You can see a copy of The Guardian flying out, a Britney Spears CDs and album cover, a mask, a purple wig, some Starbucks, some Karen glasses. Yeah, banging. We like that.
Have you heard about the thing in America where they've messed up on the polling? Where they did a poll, I've got to be careful how I say it, with regards to the anti-Britney. You know they've changed. Right, so I'll do it in a nutshell. So basically, they've changed the definition. Well, we're aware that they've changed the definition of the anti-Britney, yeah? Yes. So it's anything that opposes mandatory or government advice, yeah? Yeah. So they did a poll in America, and because the majority don't want it to be mandatory, even those that have taken it, it now means that the majority of America are majority anti-Britney.
Anti-Britney,
so they've shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah, I think that was a big oversight. That's got to be an oversight.
Yeah.
Had the same problem here with this morning, didn't they? They did a poll, 84% saying that they're against it, and then they deleted the tweet. Is that right?
Yeah, they pulled it off Twitter. That's right. Yeah, I saw that.
Cheeky bastards.
Yeah, it's not going well. It's not going well for the old union at the moment. Especially what with like spontaneous normie combustion going on all over the place.
Right. Do you think with the advent of the normicron at the end of this year and the conscious shocks and explosions, do you think people are now going to start denying that they've taken it? Because at the moment you've got people saying they've taken it.
I've got a friend.
So they're going to flip it.
I've got a friend who I work with, and I've only just found out that he hasn't had any Britneys, and he said straight away after it came out, I've had it, I've had it, and I was like, why did you do it? And I tried to give him all this information, and he was like, wasn't interested.
Do you know what we call those people? We call them glory supporters.
Yeah, well, he was like,
well, they're going to come on stock soon when they go out for dinner with their family during the Christmas holidays, and they won't be allowed in the restaurant, will they, or anything like that? You know.
No. Well, we've all seen it. I think that was Australia. Where they were, the Soviet Union police were walking around checking everyone's pass. Well, I'm sure
they were eating like, in the middle of their meal.
Yeah, out in a restaurant.
People were actually capitulating, like in the middle of their meal, like showing their digital papers to the Gestapo.
Yeah.
Oh God!
Whilst their food was there in front of them.
Picked up a plate of food and just slapped it around their face. Yeah. Absolute peasants. Fucking hell! Sorry, so it's the last show of the year. I'm just gonna let off tonight. I don't give a shit.
So I suppose if you haven't got the pass, then what are they gonna do? Hoist you out the restaurant? And
yeah, are
they gonna do that?
Stop leaving meal there. No, can you put this in a doggy bag? This person's got to leave.
or are they doing this to find the business? Is that it? Because if they should be only letting in people who've got the parts.
I think at the end
is
of the
it for
day,
the actual perpetrators without the parts, or is it for the?
It's to make it. It's
for
to
the
make it as
restaurants?
difficult as possible
Yeah.
for the businesses to operate.
That's it.
And it's to make it so that people don't want to go out, so they just want to eat their food in the metaverse with their cat, their digital cat.
That's
Do
it.
some spend 25
different-
crypto shekels on a digital lasagna. Eat it with your digital cat with Schwab in the metaverse.
Order from chaos.
Yeah.
That's what they want.
Master Lee pops out and
Yeah.
jump back in again.
Yeah, sorry, Andy, I missed the bit that you was talking about your colleague.
So he said, as soon as the stabby jab came out, he said he had it immediately, and I was like, why did you have it? It's like, and I tried to show him all this information, and he said, no, I'm not interested. Don't want to know. I've had it. That's it. I can't take it back. And I said, why did you have it? And he said, because my mum is like old or whatever. And I said, all right, fair enough. Anyway, and then I've only just found out this week that he hasn't had it, and the only reason he said he did is because there is one of the managers where I work who is very appropriate. And I won't name them.
To cuck 'em.
But they say that it's new science. That's the tagline. New science.
It's
new
new
science, mate. It's new science.
Trust the science.
I'm like, no, they don't say that. They say
The most
it's
trustworthy
new
science. The most trustworthy science ever,
It's
comrade.
just new science,
Fucking
guys.
hell.
It's just
Two-
new science.
2 weeks. Flat
And yeah, they're pro-Viet and
Trust us.
Trust the science is the most anti-scientific phrase.
Yes, it is.
Well,
Yeah, right.
I'm sort of jumping here because I've got a slide in a minute about that Pfizer where they've got 57 years or 75 years to produce the data.
I mean,
So
to flatten
here's
the
the
curve.
thing. The people that say trust the science...
to flatten the curve.
57 years to flatten the curve. I've worked out that people who say trust the science, they say that because they have to trust the science, because they know that they are going to be dead
It's
and
the
gone,
new religion.
whether they've taken the Brittany or not, by the time the evidence comes out. So they have to
Yeah,
trust the science.
yeah.
If there's no trust, they have nothing, because they know they're not going to see the evidence.
It's a religion at this point. Scientism.
Muppets.
That's had very little coverage as well. Like, remember when David Kelly disappeared and that evidence was kept for 50 or 70 years or something? It's
Oh
pretty
yeah, they
serious
put
if
like
they're sitting on it
a
for decades.
secrecy order. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows who this is? Can anyone name this person for
Ursula.
Ursula von Schwaben von
Schwaben Gates.
Schwabenberg. Ursula von Schwabenberg. Who is she, everyone?
She's a UN puppet.
Yeah, but what else did she do?
She went to school with Boris, didn't she?
Oh,
Yeah,
did she?
probably.
I'm pretty sure on one of the Sheep Farm episodes, I think she went to school with either Boris or somebody of that ilk. Anyway,
Yeah, I reckon.
part of the club.
Yeah, she would have gone to probably one of the same schools. But she is. What is she officially? Is she head of the World Bank?
She's the EU head, but she was a failed German defence minister by far.
But she's basically the head of the Fourth Industrial Reich. Yeah.
Some good accolade.
For any more extra points, what did she famously say or try to put forward this week? Anyone got any clues?
It was a bill.
No, she tried to actually abolish a bill that's been around
that's right.
for about 70
The
years.
Nuremberg
Can anyone
Code.
think?
The
Yeah,
Nuremberg
that one.
Code.
Heard about that one. Heard
That's
about that?
right.
Yeah.
She tried to get the Nuremberg Code thrown out.
Big up Ross Kieran.
Yeah, this is
Yeah. So how fitting, right? This, I think she's Austrian as well.
That's got nothing to do
So-
with these court cases in Poland, does it, where the Nuremberg Code is coming up?
Well, no, it's and
Or anywhere
also
else,
her
but,
husband. Her husband is like the head of Pfizer or something like
That's
that.
right. Yeah.
So like she is literally trying to overturn the Nuremberg Code that was put in place because of what Adolf Hitler did to people in concentration camps, while her and her husband's Fourth Industrial Reich are literally building concentration camps and trying to do what Adolf Hitler did. Like, you couldn't make it up.
Trust the science.
Trust the science. Yeah, trust the science.
That's
Paid-
new
paid
science,
for by
guys.
these
That's how it
people.
works. It means it's
Trust
right.
these science.
The new science of the Fourth Industrial Reich.
If you're thrown in a concentration camp and anally raped with AI for the rest of your life, that means you're safe. Right? That means the
Gosh.
government have kept you safe.
Gosh. It would be the most safest artificial intelligence of bum raping you've ever had in your life, comrade. So,
An eternity of anal rape from AI.
alternative. What's the alternative to what? So yeah, this one is another amazing bit of work from his They Live series. Russ Kieran, this is what makes him famous as a very, very esteemed memetician. His They Live series is sick. Really is. Really captures
it's a
the spirit of
series?
the film. Well, he has a series of these memes where he's been basically
all of his memes. They
portraying-
do the skull when they look in the when he puts the sunglasses on.
Yeah, when one of these Proviats comes into the forefront and does some announcement or makes some move that's gonna that's proper covert, he will do one of these on them and put the glasses in front of them. Like they've all had one so far. It's really good.
But to put the Reich tapestry behind is
brilliant,
phenomenal.
Do you know what I love about our meme team? Each and every one of them has got their own unique style and flavour, and they're all properly different, but equally as good. It's really pleasing. A powerful team we've assembled here, Rise Above. What we got? Oh, okay. I threw this one in just because it's like a Master Lee story, isn't it? Inner Guardians. What have you been saying recently about how they keep coming out with things you've got called a nutter for talking about?
Yeah, so when sort of us, when we talk about stuff, metaphysical stuff or even paranormal stuff or stuff that people cannot comprehend or touch or see, feel, we're called nutcases. Not conspiracy theorists, but nutcases. But when the scientists do it, or Elon Musk, they get awards for it.
Yeah, but hang on, Master Lee. They're officials. Yeah, they're officials, guys. You have to trust the officials.
What was the officials last week? NASA has found an alternate universe
That's
where
right.
time runs backwards.
NASA
and they're moving a massive 20,000 kilowatt sound system to Antarctica.
That's right. They are officials. You can trust the officials.
So someone's going to have a fucking massive sound clash at the South Pole. The void sound system on roids.
Did they know we're coming?
Maybe it's Admiral Byrd.
Admiral Byrd's having a side
Well, it's kind of...
Yeah.
I mean, this type of quantum physics and science is kind of for the normies, isn't it? That's what it's aimed at. It's the esoteric.
It's also they don't have to take personal responsibility. They're just basically getting told what to do, and some fictitious reason why they have to do what they do. Just based on that, whoever's pulling the strings, right, with their plan, they must have some jokes whilst doing it and just throw in some stupid shit as well, like on the side, just to be dicks about it. Why wouldn't you? If you can manipulate people like that, and quite willingly, a lot of, they deserve it, to be honest. If they're going to be so gullible and just lap up whatever the mainstream media pukes out in front of them.
Yeah, in personal protection, we say you get whatever you tolerate.
Yep.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say people deserve it, but you do have to be responsible for yourself, don't you? That's the difficulty.
It's all about personal responsibility. If you take personal responsibility, what do you need the government for?
Exactly.
If everyone took personal responsibility, the governments would be non-existent. It's because everyone lives in their childish mentality.
Right. Well, this is the big question. People go on about freedom. What is freedom? What really is freedom? Can you have partial freedom, or is it totally free or not free, or is freedom a spectrum? Because I think for the most part, most people kind of want freedom, but actually they don't want freedom.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah, and they think they are free. That's the thing. It's another joke. It's another manipulation. People actually think they are free when we live in a slave.
The other thing you got to factor in, right?
Call it a farm.
The other thing you got to really factor in, if you really want freedom in this realm, that means you have to allow others to choose something other than what you think is good.
Yeah, because that is freedom. Yeah, but look at everything is all about the majority, isn't it? That's the whole voting system. It's the majority. I mean, well, if it's 51% against 49, well, nearly half the people can be pissed, aren't they? But it's still okay because it's the majority. No, it's not.
That's democracy.
It's bullshit.
But democracy is the belief of a free society.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Everyone believes that they are free. It's like Mark Passio gives the analogy of a mother saying to a child, "Do you want peas or carrots for dinner?" She doesn't really care. She just wants them to have some vegetables. But they think, "Oh yeah, I can choose my own," and then they choose one. But
like the two-party system.
Yeah, it's exactly the same thing.
Same.
And like what you said, Master Lee, it's no coincidence. It's called a party on Wednesday.
It's a whole lot of fun.
Yeah.
If you get invited. Okay. So I know it's not really Christmas, not everyone here celebrates Christmas, but we obviously had to have some Rise Above Christmas cards. So Becky S drops this one. This one on Wednesday. This is the first of the official Rise Above Christmas cards.
Satan Klaus.
That takes last Christmas I gave you my heart to a whole new limit, doesn't it?
It certainly does.
Yeah.
I gave you my physical identical genome, comrade. All right, yeah. So Satan Clouds. That's the first Rise Above Christmas card for 2021.
I like the black leather glove on Santa.
Yeah. It had a burglar's glove. Just the high definition Klaus behind
it's
the beard.
really good.
Yeah, very good.
The Schwab.
It's just for the quick shot.
The Schwab.
Test positive if you want your Prezi.
Okay, and here's the.
What was that word now?
It's for a quick
test
swab,
positive.
If you want your Prezi, yeah.
Only a quick anal swab for your Prezi. Okay, so next, oh god. So these two are both from Sagehead. These are Sagehead's.
Oh my god! Look at Ike.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
I've got a slice of pizza.
Yeah. Look, I'm holding a rabbit.
This is brilliant.
Have I got a sword?
Yeah, no, you've got a Sharpie marker pen.
Oh, okay, just as good. Same thing.
Yeah. Pen's mightier than the sword. Omar Beats has got a crooked a staff and a rabbit. Millie Bite Size, that looks like a pot of like David Icke. She's pointing up like the work that's gone into this, and it's an organic Rise Above Christmas card. look how dark Magic's look amazing, and look at this at the top.
Ike.
What does that say? Masterly Engineered Products Incorporated.
Nice.
What are you saying in the?
Oh look, we got a Ronald McDonald top left. Organic down the bottom right.
I love it.
Certified organic.
No, this is.
Well, you need to sort of sit back and
study.
You need to study this
We've
card.
got 9 people.
Yeah, it's a lot to take in, masterly.
It is. It's like it's very.
A lot of impressions to consume there.
We got in the background. Is that some Tartarian architecture? What we got there?
It's a John Levi.
It's a multi-layered meme. Every time you look at it, you get something new.
We do. We got domes in the background.
What is the little poster on the right hand side? It looks like some sort of like Islamic dark occult djinn, a poster with a djinn on it.
Yeah, doesn't it?
And then the Britney Spears poster there. Yeah, I just seen that. Okay, let's move on. Oh yes, of course. Look, the firmament track.
Is that info in Black Earth?
And David Icke is the son.
The star of King David, isn't it? The King David star. Oh shit!
The Star of David.
Yeah, the Star of King David. The way
there's conspiracies going on.
Yeah, it's just like the way that I'm sort of stroking the rabbit. Like, excuse me, joke. Oh my god. So yeah, let's move to the right-hand side of the screen. Shit. How the Grinch stole Christmas. A free caveat to Britney Spears, age 12 plus. More amazing work. Is that
Sajid in the background?
Yeah, it's Sajid Jabhead as skiing down there. Who's riding?
You've got the cock rocket at the back with what's his name, Bezos.
Look, Health Chancellor Gates and Schwab on it. Oh mate, it's amazing. Chris Whitty as the Grinch is perfect. Who's that? Is that Wee Jimmy Cranky? What's her name?
That's
Sturgeon.
Boris's wife.
What? As the little reindeer? The little.
I think that's Carrie, isn't it?
Nah, it's Nicola Sturgeon.
Yeah, I think it's Sturgeon. Yeah.
Or maybe.
What's this free
Nicola
Britney tickets, age 12 plus.
Yeah, free tickets. Oh dear. Okay, so yeah, Merry Saturnalia, everyone. That's the Rise Above Christmas cards.
And they've also got the moon in the background.
Oh, this is the Tesco gift guide dropped by Sagehead. Christmas Tesco gift guide.
Oh God, look, Jim will fix it.
Supercharged moon juice. What? Let me just make that full screen so everyone can really appreciate it. Oh yeah, defibrillator first aid kit.
You got the flow,
rapid
lateral
antigen
flow.
test. Oh look, there's £150 off your Co-op funeral there. Wow. Shit.
Graphene oxide bottle there at the top left.
Oh nice. An RIP mask as well. A Jim will fix it badge.
And an inverted pentagram.
Everything you need this Christmas.
Obviously.
Perfect. Wow. Some amazing work. Thank you for everything that the meme team has come up with this year. I'd say this week. It's just this week has been enough, but this whole year, we've really gone from strength to strength. I don't give a fuck if we're patting ourselves on the back. You know, we've gained like a lot of new members this year.
Yeah.
And we're getting strong. Did anyone know that it's Pizza Week at Google?
This is just.
Did anyone notice when you do your Google search that pizzas come up?
You got John Podesta holding his
Sagehead made this especially for you, Andy.
Holding
PG.
his alleged son, who's dead. He was up.
Chester Podesta.
Chester Podesta, who was up for sacrifice, and you got Hiller in the back, ready to go. It's brilliant, mate.
Yeah, it's very good.
Old Podesta. His name in ancient Latin is a person of power. Podesta.
Podesta, yeah, that's right.
Oh, right, like a pedestal.
It's the United Nations is the Roman Empire. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
The unholy Covian Empire.
The
Coven Empire.
Unholy
That's
Coven
the
Empire.
Coven Empire.
Oh, let me get rid of the Sagehead is knocking them out really quickly.
Oh, look, is that in between Boris and Biden, the
Jacinda.
New Zealand
horseface? Yeah.
Old Tony Blair's
King of the Swingers.
Yeah, it's like
Is
the
that Tony
female
Blair?
Tony Blair, isn't it? Yeah, I never thought of it like that.
When Tony Blair was in power, she was like as you do. She finished uni. She worked as a waitress. Then she immediately got shuffled into be his protege, pretty much. Word is
from waitress to protege.
Yeah, from waitress to like number 10 executive in charge of other things, and I mean certain views when you see Jacinda, she doesn't look very feminine. That's all I'd say.
No.
But that's just conspiracy.
Looks like she's had too much ivermectin.
Oh
shit, Ivan's medicine.
She's had too much of Ivan's medicine. Yeah. Maybe that's what she's got.
The King of the Swingers, New Zealand MP.
King of the Swingers.
So it seems.
No, I'm sorry. Michelle is King of the Swingers.
Oh right, sorry. Okay. Yeah, we all know that.
I reckon she's snorting lines of ketamine mixed up with the Ivan's medicine. Just lines of
What,
it.
you mean you don't cut your ketamine with Ivan's medicine? What kind of peasant are you?
I'm fully organic. I only partake in organic mushrooms and herbs.
Organic Ivan's medicine. Okay, so this is the sales rep of the year. Go on.
Can I just add, let's go Brandon. Let's go Brandon.
Yeah, let's go Brandon. There's so many memes of that. That's well good. Let's go Brandon. There's memes of
they
him.
made
Like,
billions
I can't
just off
believe,
the
like,
back of this, haven't they?
Have you seen that clip where they're interviewing the player and they're actually saying "fuck Joe Biden"? Have you seen it?
Good.
Yeah, and she goes, they're saying, "Let's go Brandon."
So that's blatantly someone in her ear told her to
Hey, whoever came up with that, we got a big pat on the back. That was quick thinking.
Quick thing, but not good enough.
Unless it was all part of the show. Unless it was all part of the show, it could be. How do we know? Right.
Oh, here we go. I actually wait now. This is probably one of my favourite parts of the week. Is when you
when I talk about Steve Coogan, Jimmy Savile.
100%.
It's become a weekly part of the show.
It is. I actually look forward to this part of the show.
So, I mean, what can I say this week apart from? I mean, I didn't deliberately go out and trawling the mainstream media to look for photos of Steve Coogan being snapped as Jimmy Savile.
I literally do that.
Do you do it in a dark cupboard?
No. I do it in the open.
In the open. I do it in the middle of the park.
Yeah.
Where all the kids can see.
I told you I was in the pub last night and I didn't plant the seed. I fucking dropped an entire.
Oh yeah, you were dropping truth bombs in the pub.
I
I'd have loved to have
I
been
planted
there.
a forest, mate. Everyone heard me. A woman asked me where I got my knowledge, and I pointed her straight to the RA News website and to Mark Passio's podcasts. So she would have gone. I said, "This will change you."
So Andy PG was in his local pub dropping truth bombs.
Yeah, the next time, Andy.
In the middle of the sticks, there were all these people out there, just forest dwellers, had no idea of any of the occult.
What kind of stuff were you saying?
Literally, no, they were really interested. I said on our little Rise Above chat, it was really encouraging. Like, they were asking me stuff, and I was telling them. I told them the whole of NASA's bullshit from start to finish, and told them. Then I got onto Operation Paperclip. I was talking about.
So you gave them like a crash course of the
course,
rabbit hole network.
Yeah.
It tends to start with the moon landing, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. I did say that was my point about where I got onto NASA, the whole thing being bullshit, and I talked about all the photos being CGI and
Stanley Kubrick,
all of it, and then I talked about Van what's his name being what's his name Von Braun.
Oh,
yeah.
Brown. Werner von Braun.
Yeah, being of like just a Nazi fucking high up scientist, and was taking.
Is that the guy that made the hairdryers, Von Braun?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, it makes wicked shaving as well.
Yeah, this woman, this woman at the end of it, because there was a few people asking me stuff, and then this woman, she obviously didn't want to make too much of a house. Then she came and asked me once some other people had left, and I was just leaving. She said, "Can I ask, where do you learn all this?" She said, "You're obviously very well read." And I said, "Yeah, I do read a lot, and I do a lot of research." But I said, I just pointed her straight to our website and then straight to Passio's website. I said, "That's enough." I said, "That's all you need."
She might be watching, and
yeah, mate, I did tell her. Yeah.
Oh,
so
mate,
we do a podcast.
I've got a similar story. So last week, we didn't have the Friday show. Saturday, I was in the Isle of Wight. Sunday morning, I'm getting the ferry back, and most people are acting like the living dead on the ferry. And I'm walking along, and I just hear this voice go, "Nice one for not wearing a mask, mate. Nice one." I was like, "Oh, what's that?" And I turned around, there's this guy, and it sort of took me by surprise. I was like, "Oh, safe." And I thought about it, and I was like, "Oh, fuck it," and I'll go back and talk to him.
Yeah, nice.
Right, so I went back and talked to him, and I'd already got a Rise Above sticker out of my wallet.
You have to do that. That's your duty to do that.
And I was like, bro, if you hate the Soviet Union, you'll love my podcast. I was like, check this out, yeah. And he's like, "Oh, cool. Have my business card." And he's from the Humanity Project. So hashtag Save the Children. Scott, and hopefully he's watching. So obviously, yeah, the whole. And I was like,
and Save the Children. That brings us right back to Jimmy Savile.
yeah. So full circle. And I was saying, yeah, listen, I've been speaking out against this. They've had me on bail. And he's like, "Wait a minute, did you get arrested for speaking at a protest last year?" And I was like, yeah. He goes, "Oh yeah, I saw that fat. That was sick." And I was like, "So yeah." And he was telling me, about all the stuff he's doing. It was just one of those moments.
The main thing, right? If you want to give someone a quick. If you've only got a couple of seconds and you want to really wake them up, get them to watch your Serco speech. If nothing else, just the Serco speech, because that just shows the lies and the who's filling whose pockets.
And it has Jimmy Savile in it too.
Jimmy Savile's in
it. even Jimmy Savile features in my Serco speech. It links in with
right back to Jimmy Savile.
Oh, what's his name? Sir Jimmy Savile's mate, whatever his name is, the guy that owns Serco. I forget. God, that's like a lifetime ago.
Nick Soames.
Soames, that's it. Yeah,
Soames.
Yeah. One of them is best mates.
One
of them is best mates with Jimmy Savile. One of them is best mates with Epstein. Two brothers. Perfect. Couldn't write it. So yeah, this picture is taken by a regular person. They posted on their Insta. And he says, "When Steve Coogan is in the park at the end of your road dressed as Jimmy Savile filming the new show." Oh no.
I bet if you were like a single mum with a child, you'd move pretty quick.
Get out of here quickly. Get out of here. So Auntie Koviet dropped this. Now, for anyone that knows Alan Partridge, there's a real famous scene where Lynn is going on about Benjamin Netanyahu, right?
Yeah.
And Partridge's like, "Lynn, just stop going on about Benjamin Netanyahu. You're never gonna meet him," like that. And he just destroys Lynn. So Auntie Koviet, stop going on about Jimmy Savile. You're never gonna meet him. That's why I became him. Oh, it's good. We spoke about this concept, haven't we, in the Guardians? Maybe he chose to be Jimmy Savile while he was still alive.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
He was aware. He was going to be. He wanted to be Jimmy Savile.
Maybe he was anointed to have the grand honour of portraying
from the death cult
Grand Master Savile after he died.
Wow.
From what I know about Jimmy Savile, he makes an appearance in the presentation, but. Like,
oh, it's in your presentation too.
Yeah.
Everything's coming back to Jimmy Savile.
Well, but my point is, he seems to be on a level with the royals, if not above. And it leads me to demons and parasites and who was actually.
Sorry to butt you in. I come to the conclusion that I think it was you suggested it that he was the royal wizard. He was a wizard in the castle.
No, he's the grand wizard.
Yeah, exactly.
John D.
Yeah, in the Guardian, to me, I've seen that documentary. Was Jimmy Savile a wizard? And they compared him to John Dee, to the dark occultist.
Yeah, because they say every castle needs a wizard.
Every royal family has to have an occult advisor.
Yeah,
a magi.
A magi.
Yes, that's it. Magi.
Yeah. John Dee and Savile. And Prince Sausage Fingers Charles, all in presentation.
Sausage Fingers.
Yes. Besides them.
Oh, right, someone posted this, I don't know where, and they said the real Squid Game.
Brilliant.
Right, look at the octopus. It's good. This one. This guy's called the Art of Jalapeno.
Have they actually released a picture of Omicron yet? Do we know what it looks like?
Yeah, this. It's the octopus. No, I don't know. I don't believe we've seen the CGI representation of Normicron yet. It's probably just the same picture with a different colour, isn't it? Different. They've just put a different filter on it. Surely. Surely they don't bother to actually render a new 3D model.
I think they just get one of
Mars.
NASA's like failed CGI things and then just modify it a bit and be like, look, we use that like weird looking planet thing.
Yeah.
Just borrow some of NASA's bullshit.
So, I think this is my last slide. Yeah.
I think what they do is they put Aleister Crowley's demon semen under a microscope. And then CGI.
Magnify it. They put it through a PCR test. Give it 3,300 cycles.
Hey, talking of PCR tests, I was talking to a PCR tester, and I asked them the procedure, and they didn't know. They didn't know anything about. No.
All they know about is, oh, here's the procedure. We get a swab, we put it in a tube, and we put it in the post.
Then it goes to
and it comes back and says positive or negative.
Do you remember back in 2020, there was these going around social media. There was a video of somebody apparently, allegedly, secretly filmed inside one of these labs where they send all this.
They were mixing it all up.
There wasn't even a table there. They were just like piles of these.
It's like that a bunch of teenagers have been given those My First Chemistry kit, and they were just getting it all out, not reading the instructions, mixing it all together.
Mate, it looked like a heroin addict's flat.
Yeah.
Looked like a heroin addict's flat, and they just had piles and piles of these genetic material vials, which they were supposed to be testing. And like, there was no organisation, no one documenting anything. There was nothing, no system. So they were just like, just willy nilly. Oh yeah, negative, positive, negative. Like honestly,
well, I asked them what cycles they're using at the moment, and they didn't know what the cycles were. They just said they spin it for 5 hours.
They spin it like
5 hours.
A spin class.
Dear, oh dear. So, Rob's just taking a toilet break, I guess. We're going to have a quick break in a minute from Oma Beats, and it will honestly only be a 10-minute break. We're going to have like 3 Oma Beats intervals, but they'll be shorter rather than an hour long. So let me just remind you about what is dropping on the website tonight. Why you need to head over to riseabove.news. 367 tuned in. I'm not joking. Tom at 528create, right? He's been working his fingers to the bone. He works for Rise Above now. He has no time to make T-shirts for anybody else. He's
our official maker.
He said, I had no idea it was going to be like this. Maybe I have to get someone more employed. He's literally like, I see messages at like midnight, 7 o'clock in the morning. Right? There are
a busy man.
There are so many variants of the digital sun now. It is sick. We've got more variants than the Soviet Union when it comes to T-shirts. Yeah,
nice.
And remember, not only are these T-shirts super dope quality,
that should go on a T-shirt.
Well, we've got more variants than the Soviet Union. I mean, I love this digital sun.
That is the main T-shirt.
But I personally like the Rabbit Vortex. This one here is very lovely. Everything exempt in red with white looks absolutely dope. Yeah,
that's what I'm wearing.
Yeah, there's a new remix with a red T-shirt, and all of that is in white.
Yeah, nice.
Really nice. Yeah, every T-shirt helps this stream keep looking so cool, and buy more T-shirts.
Just going back through the memes, aren't you?
Yeah.
Just going back through them. It's just really getting them in the subconscious.
Yeah. Really look at these memes. Right, Oma Beats, you ready to spin some tracks? And then straight afterwards, we're going to have the presentation of all presentations. The dawn of the hybrid age. Esoteric Night of Malta's in the house. And he's going to be with us in 10 minutes. Oma Beats.
So many years in a poverty, no place to sleep, no food to eat. Get a living and no plating. It's a hard life suffering. Them not do a thing. Me tell you one no plating. Get a youth one governing. Many get caught in the spin. Me tell you one no plating. It's a hard life suffering. The system not do a thing. Me tell you one no plating. Survival war, no time for wasting. Said the garrison no pardon, no missus, no mister. No time time for wasting, no time for linger. Got to be progressive, secure your future. No more grabbing a barrel that we don't need ya. This in a future rolling at the deepest. Click the system, go hold them with a blistering grip. Run them up and run out of the district. When Babylon punk them in sick, I get a living and a plaything. It's a hard life suffering, the system not do a thing. Tell you one no plaything. Get the youths one covering, I many get caught in the spin. Tell you one no plaything. It's a hard life suffering. Hey, now do a thing. And no plaything. Get the one no plaything. Rock and music take control and I'm alive. Cause every time she's by my side, she turn her dark in the sunshine. Well, na 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 na. Rock and music take control and I'm alive. But these are body and no fight. She turn her dark in the sunshine. Lord of mercy, these are the reasons why me still there. Pass a man pass a rock and music till the end. When I feel sad, put the music in me head. Put this area on, push it up with me friend. No man just come mash it up me bridging. If you wanna turn up the music, me not know how you been. God is a music in a tough style. When man day up on the mic, you know wanna fuck with me. Can no bad man with no fear. Me say today we go in a top cheer. Nowhere we drink a little beer. Everywhere I go, I gotta rule the country. I give me say, you see me face. Rock roots in this time I will be. Listen to the lyrics, how we love we increase. What we gonna do is to living in peace. Tell them. Rock and music take control and I'm alive. Cause every time she's by my side, she turn her dark in the sunshine. Well, na 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 na. Rock and music take control and I'm alive. But these are body and no fight. She turn her dark in the sunshine.
Sound of Omar. Let's take them deeper, it's Rise Above.
The voices keep talking, my feet just keep walking. I don't know, I can't figure it out. Like the figure it ain't, I end up back at your tip. Wake up early in the morning, half past yawning. Command name Billy, I'm snoring. When my kids need more and more. Work real hard, but do you really see how hard? How high I climb, just to bring back the love. Like bread and butter. Yeah, man came from the gutter, but I never stutter. Bad man don't flutter. I'm better than any other lad. I just reach, spit, dash. Promote, I send, man's cash. I don't wanna have a red up, but I'll wet up anybody trying to fix so much. So what? I gotta eat shit, wash. You know I need this dash. And I get it, whatever the weather. Go get up, P proceeds all over letters, you know. Oh, I got the flow and mouth. I got the most by far. See how my clock then run down MCs like yeah. So tell me who's in charge. Red winner, but man don't eat bread.
Big
for
tunes
dinner.
on the
Chicken
beat.
rice peas is a winner in my yard. Hard though, as long as it ain't hard though. And I soak fish fritter. Them man, I'm on the aero thing. They don't know about the mighty spare and thing. Man, I kick off them and talk clear and thing. Just make them make this thing clear and thing. Them man think them big man things, but them don't already know set with kings and things. Check the style we are rings and things. I fit the profile, I'm on a Winbread team. Them man, I'm on the aero thing. They don't know about the mighty spare and thing. Man, I kick off them and talk clear and thing. Just make them make this thing clear and thing. Them man think them big man things, but them don't already know set with kings and things. Check the style we are rings and things. I fit the profile, I'm on a Winbread team.
Come with it, Omar.
Don't think I'm on a joke, man, ting, cause you hear me laughing when I flow and ting. Please don't brag about your bro on the road, man, I send a you man round to soul man sings. For the P, man, I went up on soul man skin. Me, you know I'm on a grow man ting. Slap the door, you would think I'm on a bro man ting. Little man ting, I don't need to show man things. For over 10 years, man, know I'm green. Microphone pro, whatever the mode
Omicron
I'm
beats in the
yeah.
house.
You know I'm him, same red, got a green hat, sitting with a mold and ting. You can't put me over with no gold and bling. Instead, I'd rather win bread, hit the motherland and buy up some homes and ting.
Wicked sound of Omar beats.
Bunksy number one.
Red is how you mean.
Yeah, these are cartoon days. See the boys jump right off of the page. We all have a role to play, I should warn ya. Is it you, is it me, who's the author? Yeah, these are cartoon days. See the boys jump right off of the page. We all have a role to play, I should warn ya. Is it you, is it me, who's the author? Yeah, I feel the pen pressing on my head. And the typewriter spelling every word that I said. Down the wrong path of lead, I'm set to learn the boat rules from the summer pilot or blow. It's only right that you know how this cartoon works. You can be the hero or the villain that lurks. The ones in the background that barely ever heard the lips are moving, but you heard no words as I observed, just waiting for the credits. The real truth was taken out in the edits. The man said it's gonna be a real twist. Only at the end will you know what it really is. So play your part, that's all we could do. When the lead rolled the offer right hand to you. Yo, these are cartoon days. See the words jump right off of the page. We all have a role to play, I should warn ya. Is it you, is it me, who's the author? Yeah, these are cartoon days. See the words jump right off of the page. We all have a role to play, I should warn ya. Is it you, is it me, who's the author?
My sentences are drawn out, and it ain't from the weed. My thoughts appear in a bubble at almost double the speed. They draw two me's in 2D to represent my split personalities, fighting with each other for the sanity. But hold up, I gotta spit this script that's been written. On the day I'll take control, you'll see the page with a ripping. If they animated this cartoon, it would be skipping. I'm just a puppet moving wherever the nib is flicking, fitting in where they draw me, until the day I write my own story, drawn slightly different than before me. Still scrawny but grown in the years and intelligence. I snatch the pen from the author and write some shit that's relevant. I'm just a product of where I am and what I've seen. That's why I have to be a comic. They can't strip away my dreams. Escape from the magazine is the mission, and to implement the vision. Shit, I'll even draw myself a pot to piss in.
Yeah, these are cartoon days. See the words jump right off of the page. We all have a role to play, I should warn ya. Is it you, is it me, who's the author? Yeah, these are cartoon days. See the words jump right off of the page. We all have a role to play, I should warn ya. Is it you, is it me, who's the author?
Yo, Bill and Bake on adventures like Finn and Jake. Put it on the plate like a fillet steak. Straight, get stuck like sticky tape. Take the mickey like Minnie's date. Listen, mate, hit you with the power of the pen and pad. All I need a tenner bag of cheese and a speckled tab. I'll be creating remedies like on Dexter's Lab. In next dimensions, catch me if you can. You couldn't get a cab. I'm wormhole traveling, unraveling the matrix. Spaceship in stasis, traveling the ages. I'm dabbling creatives, snake pit escapist, spiral staircase lift, indigo paint kit. I blaze spliffs and illustrate hallucinated day trips. Geometric shape shifts of psychedelic play scripts. I blaze piff grade and stay on that grade A tip. Pick up my pen and pad and animate shit.
Yeah, these are cartoon days. See the words jump right off of the page. We all have a role to play, I should warn ya. Is it you, is it me, who's the author? Yeah, these are cartoon days. I'm here. Where are you? These things, they come and go. I'm here. Where are you?
Fox, black long sleeve top is coming soon. I'm going to show you what's available on the website right now. We've got the Digital Sun hoodies. Many different variants here. Check out the website, people. More things are added every single day. I've got so many more designs coming. Don't watch that. The Rabbit Vortex jumper is coming soon, I promise. Last couple of tunes. I'm never going to get down to it. Hello there. That's a different view of Rise Above. What do you think of that? How do you like that one? Right about now, Sound of Roma Beats. Come with it, come with it. We're about to run with it. Lyrical the occultist, double L, I'm going to bum with it. Bum with it, bum with it. Who is the architect? Who is the architect? Yo, who is the architect of all creation? The all-seeing eye can't see the change in this vibration. Breaking through the surface, doing it purposely. Consciousness triumphs in the face of adversity. Strong ties are tethered, weak things are severed. Strides towards the goal that we've endeavored. Believe, revealing hidden knowledge. Ancient clay tablets, clues to the creators of this world that we inhabit. Who is the architect of all creation? The all-seeing eye can't see the change in this vibration. Yeah. Welcome to Rise Above. Gosh. Toast to Ronald McDonald. Big up all the meme squad. Virus Man. Isoma Metica. Future Ghost. Big up Auntie Kovia. It's Rise Above each and every Friday night. Gosh. Yo, I'm up. Seaside, a rhythm, a rider. Buster, one. Whoa. Seaside, a rhythm, a rim. Who's that? Double L skin. Light on Friday night and I be rinsing. So who's listening? Seaside, a rhythm, a rider. Buster, one liner. Being again till I'm an old timer. Lyrical flow is tight like vagina. I'm a rhymer, I'm a creeper. Break yourself in, turn it in deeper. Some are follower, some are the leader. Some are stronger, some of them are weaker. I'm stepping the road in my Nike sneaker. That's an old one. Big up Rob, Esoteric Knight of Malta in the studio. Say hello, Rob.
Hello.
All right, Oma Beats. We'll end it in a minute, please. We've got a presentation to do, you know. Yes, big up Magix, big up Lord Boobsworth. Hang tight Chris, gosh, Andy Pandy 33, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. Yo, when I'm live inside the booth. You ready to drop bombs? Yo, listen, Oma Beats. Gone with it, my selector. Standard, Norman's understanding. MC double L's here and I've landed. Lyrical's gonna be branded. Branded, lyrically outstanding. It's a banger, full capacity. Anger with MC's audacity. Allow me to elucidate. Oma Beats with the dub plate. It's Friday night, it's Rise Above. What are you lot saying? Big up Clarice.
Drinks, yeah, I pour. People them a get down on the dance floor. Select talks on the top, yes, a little more. Little two-step, 4x4. I just wanna party how it was before.
A big sound up here, big tune.
Ram pa 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 pam, touch on the. Blow up the dance, explosion. Ram pa 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 pam, touch on the.
Sound of Oma Beats. Myself, Double LMC. Ain't out Andy PG. In the Guardian, spoken word nerd. Is he actually going to slow it down and stop the tune? Oh, look at that. Oma Beats on time. Oh no. Oh, look at that. Oma Beats in the motherfucking house. So, our special guest this week, let's get it all turned up nice and loud. It's Rob, Esoteric Knight of Malta. Welcome to Rise Above officially, mate. You're now sat in the hot seat. How you doing?
Hello, hello. We're here.
We're here. And the last show of the year, so we thought we'd pull out all the stops. And we've got a bit of a badass presentation from you, to say the least, I think.
It took time.
It took time. Right. Now, let me get rid of some of these unnecessary cameras. Oh, sorry. I accidentally got rid of the wrong camera there. Welcome back, everyone. All right, full team assembled. Let me just get up the first video so we can start this presentation of the Esoteric Knight of Malta, the hybrid age, and new Nephilim. Panspermia is the first video, right?
Yeah, Panspermia. Yeah.
Okay, Rob, do you want to give us a little intro into this this epic story of Gilgamesh you're gonna drop for us here?
So we got the first intro screen, which is the hybrid age. I can hear some feedback.
Yeah, it's word nerd.
Apologies.
Anyway, that's right. That's better. Yeah. So we got the hybrid age, and this covers several topics, from robotics, Nephilim, the Adamites, giants, ancient Egypt, ancient civilizations, technological Babylon, CRISPR, black goo, loads of things. So
sounds pretty good already.
Yeah, there are many subjects, so we're probably going to split it into 3 parts or something like that.
Yeah, no problem. We've got all night, mate.
So if we click the next slide.
Go on, you do it.
Yeah.
Just do it on the wheel.
Oh, right. So this is the map that I've created. It's all of the subjects on the map are linked in a certain way. Now, whether you want to look into that, I'm not going to take you through the map now because there's so many subjects. It's just
anyone can pause it and go through it themselves.
You can screenshot it and have a look yourself. So we'll go to the next.
Let me just make that full screen for a sec.
Yeah.
And I'll just get rid of that graphic at the bottom. So if anybody wants to properly pause it.
Actually, I'll just take you through. We start in the top left corner roughly. So if we look at Adam and Eve and the serpent seed, and you go into the story of Cain and Abel, the sons of Lamech, you got Seth, bloodlines of Cain, then you got giants, the Raphaim, the fall of Lucifer, all these things, the pre-Adamites, they all link. And that's just the very start of his story. And his story, in my view, is very questionable. So we have to use discernment, and also use.
We could definitely agree on that. I think, pretty questionable.
Yeah, exactly. So let's look at the next one, and I think this is. Is it just up? Yeah, there we go. Oh, wrong way. Okay. So next slide, and this is the panspermia clip. We'll just hold a sec with that. So the Antiky, I didn't even say that word before I came on here.
Antikythera.
Yeah,
Antikythera.
It's an ancient computer that was found in the Sea of Greece. And this thing, again, it's the same as Göbekli Tepe. It's it really affects their science and their story of history, because it contradicts a lot of things. So also we got, in the top left corner, you got D-Wave. The D-Wave is a computer, like on a quantum level. You also got CERN. You also got in the bottom left corner, you've got Alan Turing's computer, which was it the name of that?
Is that the first ever computer?
Well, no, it was the Turing machine.
Oh, is this
what's the name of the movie?
Oh god, it's really famous, isn't it? Has it got Leonardo DiCaprio in it?
No, that was Titanic.
He's in more films than Titanic. Give me a break.
No, the Turing machine. That was the machine that apparently defeated the German code in World War II. It broke the code for the U-boats.
Right.
So, and we also got a photo of CERN, which is the huge atom smasher, the Hadron Collider, which what actually is that?
It looks quite similar, for sure.
That's what, do you know what? That's what I thought when I put that on there.
Well, when I looked, I had a little sneak peek through this earlier on, and that's what I originally thought.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I've seen this ancient mechanism thing here before. Obviously, know what the Hadron Collider looks like, but I'd never clocked. Yeah, there's definitely a similarity.
Clocked is a good
Clocked, yeah.
So
me and Andy PG will do that to each other. Oh, clocked. Right. Right.
So we can play panspermia now and just see what Brian Cox, which is a leader.
God.
He's a leader of the science.
I caught my dad watching Brian Cox this week. I slapped it out of his eyes. I stopped watching Brian Cox.
The search for alien life in the universe is one of the most intriguing quests of our time. From UFOs to little green aliens to the possibility of life in the underground aquifers of Mars, there's no end to speculation as to what form this life could take and how it could have developed. There's even a raft of videos on the internet speculating that aliens must have visited ancient civilizations on Earth. Because otherwise, how else could the Mayans have built their incredible temples? Spoiler, there is no evidence at all for this. And frankly, if I was a Mayan stoneworker from 250 AD, I would find it deeply insulting. But a more interesting theory, and one which has more credibility, is that of panspermia. That life exists throughout the universe and can be transported through space from one location to another.
By
Although
intergalactic
it's certainly
spunk.
not proven, a team of prominent scientists from MIT and Harvard have been working on the theory that some form of life was
Theory
actually
being the
delivered
optimum
to
word there.
Mars in this way.
I'm just going to pause it, so I don't want to get a copyright strike on that, because it's BBC, isn't it?
That's fine. But what you get, and I have heard Steve Quayle and Thomas on. Oh, yeah. I have heard Steve Quayle talk about there's two theories of panspermia, intergalactic spunk, if you will. But
that's a meme in itself for the meme team there.
Exactly. But yeah, it's I haven't really got much more to say on that, but I just wanted to show you the hypocrisy of the mainstream. Like, I'm not going to say his name, but we all know who produced that episode. And like, before I was awake, I used to like this guy, but this guy is just intolerable now.
Yeah, it
makes me sick.
Do you want the next slide? Go for it. I'm just going to get Andy PG a phone for his microphone.
So, next slide is... I keep going the wrong way with the mouse. There we go. So, it's NASA, not a space agency, asteroids, and the fear of Armageddon. And this leads to actually breaking news tomorrow that there is an asteroid passing Earth. I think the statement from NASA was its potential hazard.
Potential being the key word there.
Yeah, it's just like, for me, it's just another segment of the Matrix to keep you in a little box of fear. Just personally, I think it's all BS, but I just wanted to drop that in here because you see the photo as well in the background, NASA, CGI or real, and this is what also Wim's channel, Godveg, leads to, and he's dead right. Like, they make a truth hamburger of it, don't they?
A truth hamburger.
So you either got like the two buns are truth, and you got one lie, or you got two lies and one truth, and you have to discern it, and it's very hard, you know. So yeah,
In the Guardians, are you there with us?
Yeah.
Sorry,
They're reinforcing the outer space concept theory.
I particularly like this little graphic here that shows the size of this apparent asteroid. It's like bigger than the Statue of Liberty, the Great Pyramid of Giza, and the Eiffel Tower. It looks massive. It's like the most scary one ever. Right?
And apparently it's going to come into our atmosphere, but then slingshot around the hurtling ball at 666 miles an hour.
It's always going to come right near us, but then it's not really near us at all, isn't it? Isn't that like a recurring theme with these asteroid stories?
I think that's why we've got Bruce Willis.
That was a great movie.
That's where Bruce Willis comes into. But wait a minute, am I right in thinking that I've heard this in the mainstream media recently about this asteroid, that they're actually going to be doing a Bruce Willis move by sending something like a drill or something onto the asteroid?
That's called DART. It's a deflection. I can't remember what the A stands for. Deflection something reflection technology, and so they launch some sort of satellite, and then this satellite not hypersonically, but it launches something from it that rebounds into the asteroid that effectively puts it off course. Again, personally, from my point of view, NASA, go back to Operation Paperclip, which we're going to touch on in a minute, and the three-letter agencies and the four, NASA and CIA, you look at Operation Paperclip, how can you trust those agencies when all those Germans went to America in the 40s? So we'll move on to the next slide, which is again NASA.
Sorry, I just nicked the mouse, mate.
Stop it. Right,
NASA. Then I'll put that there. So much. There's so much going on in the Rise Above studio.
Yeah.
It's overwhelming, isn't it?
Oh, it's all good. But so we got the NASA logo, and it wasn't until a couple of months ago I saw this. Now you look at the red serpent's tongue. It looks like a snake's tongue. And NASA, obviously, not a space agency. Think of it what you will, but it's just like that.
It's particularly shown there in this 3D logo, because normally you see it in the 2D and it's like, okay, you can see it, but it really looks like a serpent's tongue. It looks like a Disney serpent's tongue. That's what it looks like.
Coincidentally, they got the three constellations there as well.
I was just going to mention.
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
He always does that. Honestly, I put these slideshows together and he proper pre-schwabs me.
No, it's fine. It's funny because I didn't actually notice that till just now, and I was just looking at it again.
It's Pleiades. It's Pleiades. It's not Osiris. What's the other one? Sirius. Pleiades, Sirius, and Orion. Yeah,
I think So But we're going to keep going with NASA, and the next slide is it's the Jesuits, and so these guys, the Jesuit astronomers, and honestly, like if you look into the Jesuit astronomers, you got Carnippicus, which was the globe theory is a Carnippican model.
Okay,
and the Carnippican, like all these people, these Jesuit astronomers, and there's a guy called Pierre Jardin, a French guy. And you probably wouldn't have heard of him. But
no, I hadn't until...
It's funny, cause I only discovered him a few days ago, but... So, we're going to get onto him in a little bit, but he's linked to the Vatican and very heavily... So, Pierre Jardin was a Jesuit astronomer, and...
This is what Godfad says. It says, the Jesuit... Vikings went around just rewriting history.
I totally believe that. And if you look back at the Jesuits, they've been controlling... The Jesuits have been controlling astronomy since the 1600s or the 1200s.
Probably since 1666, since Shabbatai Zevi. Yeah, okay.
Wow. So, and on the left you got the compass builder science. The Earth literally spins around at that speed. And my problem with it is when you think about it, whatever it is not really important, but it does affect your research. Whatever theory you believe in, it does change your research,
Okay.
So, but one guy said, I think it's Santos Bonacci when he interviewed David Weiss on the flat Earth theory. But David Weiss says, you got this ball hurtling through space at 666 miles an hour, but then you got all these satellites going around at thousands of miles. So what? How fast are the satellites going around? Like, it's just crazy.
It's a lot to think about. You know what's more interesting? We've got people watching right now that are on both sides of the divide on this.
Sure. Yeah, for sure.
And I sit and I look at this with a totally open mind, because I watch Godfather as well. I don't call myself a flat earther. I call myself a NASA skeptic. In the Guardians, what do you think about these 666s in these globe metrics?
I think it displays a lack of imagination.
That's a good way to put it, for sure.
Which is one of the qualities that the people behind this tend to lack. But yeah, I mean, I'm more of into the realm, as in we live in the realm, not on it. Now, with the globe theory, they want you to believe that you live on something, not in it, and that it doesn't sound much, but it completely alters your interaction with the realm.
Which is, I think, what you were just talking about. It will actually steer your research in one way or another.
Yeah, it does. But it's also like what I've noticed as well. Like, it's Sandro Spinacci says it. So the compass builders. I'm not going to keep saying their name because I've had streams taken down for it anyway. But
okay.
But Sandro, he says so. As above, so below. Look up, you idiot. And the problem we've got nowadays is technology can be a form of So technology can be a form of Satanism, but it's one of Satan's weapons. And everybody is always looking down.
Amish people think it's Satanism.
Everybody's always looking down. Nobody looks up at the sky anymore, whatever the stars may be.
There's a reason it's called the iPhone. And there's a reason there's Apple's logo.
Mate, when I said about the forbidden fruit, when people first started iPhones, I said, listen, I don't delve in the forbidden fruit.
Yeah.
And then, what would you mean? I was like, well, what do you think that apple with the bite out of it on the back of Steve Jobs' phone is? What do you think that represents? That's the bite out of the apple in the Garden of Eden, in case you didn't know. And they're like, yeah, right, Lance.
But it's right.
Now they've been to 3 Britney Spears concerts and they're not laughing anymore.
Isn't it also connected to Alan Turing? Because he died by biting an apple, arsenic.
Did he?
Ooh. Oh, is that the official Steve Jobs story?
Yeah, he said it. Well, Steve Jobs said that they used that logo as a dedication to Alan Turing because he was killed by arsenic, and the method is that you bite an apple.
Nice bit of synchronicity because you brought up the Turing machine, right?
Yeah, but
it's all connected.
I'm saying that's that the guy might have died by eating an apple that way, but I'm saying that's bullshit. This is the forbidden fruit. It is the forbidden fruit. Don't take a bite out of the forbidden fruit.
The exoteric explanation and the esoteric explanation, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Neither is bullshit. It's just,
but that's what they've given
given the. We know what you mean. I'm just being facetious.
Right.
All right, Alan.
Oi, Lynn.
So
bring me my metaphors, Lynn.
Right. So this slide. So we're going to play a clip in a minute, but so this guy, this links to. It really links to the.
This is what they see over here.
Yes. Okay, yeah. So this guy Pierre Jardin, he's a French guy. He was a Jesuit astronomer, but he was kind of. He's given out mixed messages. So he's talked about Christ consciousness, but he's also talked about several things, but in a more positive way. And it's more of a sort of new age way. But anyway, the long and short of it is, so Pierre Jardin was talking about Christ consciousness being universal, and the Vatican didn't like it. So Pope Francis was ushered. I'm trying to get my story. Let's play the clip and listen to it.
Okay, is clip 11, right?
Yeah.
Some of the presentations that were made there, and the fact that to a man, they asked Pope Francis to remove the warning against Jardin and to view it as, the guiding light for, determining what should the position of the church be with regard to the transformation of humanity from Homo sapien to something else. Now, a lot of people may not know, Jardin actually wrote years ago his own, it was called Divine Milieu, the Divine Milieu, and it was translated into English in 1960. If people want to read it on Google Books or something like that, Chardin's Divine Milieu, widely considered to be one of the first to positively articulate a transhumanist worldview in which mankind is going to take control of its evolution. And during a technological singularity, everybody gives Chardin credit for saying this long before Kurzweil did in his Age of Spiritual Machines. He said we would reach a technological singularity in which we would transcend our status as humans and become part of a higher cosmic intelligence. Pierre, by the way, was a Jesuit, like the people that attended the plenary. He was a mystical philosopher, and he wrote renowned works, renowned today, for his devotion to Darwinism. And in fact, his devotion to Darwinism was what partly originally created the article against him, where some of the priests were concerned it could lead to, dangers of theology. But he was the one that conceived the idea that evolution was progressing to a goal, the maximum level of complexity in consciousness, which he called the omega point. And again, people can Google omega point, read all about it. You'll get the idea, the concept of the new sphere, all these terms that basically said we are moving towards a moment in time in which mankind, it will reach the omega point. We will become one with a technological singularity. We will develop Christ consciousness, which sounds like an occult phrase, another reason that he was at first charged against. And we will become one with the universe. But he also talked about alien life on other worlds and how our consciousness will merge with their consciousness.
Is that Stevie Wonder? Yeah. Wow, mate, this is a really good find.
If people want to read the whole chapter about it, it's in the Exo Vaticana.
So we got. Sorry, I'm just wondering why Ray Kurzweil was talking to Stevie Wonder.
Yeah, well,
maybe Stevie Wonder was one of the astronomers. Those Jesuit astronomers. I'm just thinking, I don't know why.
I was like, what, are you trying to say that Stevie Wonder's like a remote viewer? I was like, what? You had me for a minute there. But imagine that, though, like Stevie Wonder is like the world's most highest level remote viewer, like the Jesuit, the Vatican.
Well, it would explain a few things, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would do. So, like, Steve Kurzweil, is it Ray Steve Kurzweil? Ray Kurzweil is like the best example of priest class.
Yeah.
He's literally AI technocratic chosenite priest class, isn't he? Those who cannot be criticised.
I've actually let's play a clip now because it's quite relevant. If you go CRISPR,
you got so many clips. We're really treating you kids. We've got everything you want tonight. All the goodies.
But if you go CRISPR tech clip.
CRISPR tech clip.
Yeah. And
in the Guardians, it talks about CRISPR a lot. Let's have a look at this one. This is a real Aladdin's cave of transhumanism.
This is a protein. The white part of this is a protein called CRISPR-Cas9, and it's a molecular scalpel. It's literally a tool that scientists can use to cut DNA and trigger targeted changes to genomes. And the way it
sounds
works
good, doesn't it?
Is that it has another molecule in it called RNA, this orange piece.
Oh, sounds familiar.
It provides a script.
What could possibly go wrong, comrade?
The DNA code in a genome, and when that match occurs, this protein is able to make a cut in the DNA, and that triggers the cell to make a change at that precise position.
We'll cut the protein out. That will trigger a change, won't it?
Sign me up.
Do you know what the crazy thing is? Sorry to just interject. People will try and tell you that RNA technology, this isn't. It's not going to change my genes. This doesn't change my genome. I was like, okay, let me ask you a question. Is RNA a part of your genetics? I know it's not DNA though. I know it's not DNA. Is it part of your genetic makeup?
No,
yes, it is.
But
does it get edited? Yeah, it cuts it.
But it's a tool to edit your genes. That's exactly what it is. It's a tool like scissors to cut your DNA code and it sounds great.
They're literally telling us, they're telling us, I'm literally going to take your DNA, I'm going to cut this bit out, She's going to change that bit. And people say, no, this isn't gene editing. No. They're telling you.
It's willing ignorance. It's willing ignorance. That's what it is. Let's say the word how it is.
Should we play the rest of the clip?
Yeah.
Even though you and your collaborator Emmanuel Charpentier were the discoverers of it in the modern sense, I mean, it evolved, so it actually existed in bacteria.
That's right. It evolved over eons in microbes because of the need to use it to protect themselves from viruses. So in bacteria, this protein is programmed to find and destroy viral DNA. But when Emmanuel Charpentier and I did research to understand how that works, we recognized that this tool could be, this ability of the protein could be harnessed as a technology for genome editing and other kinds of cells.
Humans have been engineering genes for centuries. The vegetables in a modern supermarket and the staple grains that sustain us bear little resemblance to the ancient plants they derive from. Our domestic animals, too, have been transformed through generations of breeding. The variety of dogs is a testament to our power, long before modern biology, to transform genes. Beginning in the 1970s, we learned to directly manipulate the genetic code stored in the cells of every living thing. But for decades, the technology remained cumbersome, expensive, and imprecise. Then came CRISPR. In 2012, Emmanuel Charpentier and Jennifer Doudna discovered they could hijack a mechanism that bacteria use to protect themselves from viruses. With a piece of RNA acting as a guide, and a protein called Cas9 acting as the scissors.
There we go.
Scientists can now target, remove, and replace any stretch of the double-stranded DNA molecule in any living thing. Easy,
hijack,
inexpensive, and so precise, scientists can switch out a single base pair in the more than 3 billion base pairs that make up the human genome.
So yeah, we got this CRISPR. I mean, this CRISPR technology is next level stuff, and it goes into super soldiers. But even that last bit of the clip from Monsanto. So who owns Monsanto?
Well, Monsanto was merged with Bayer, wasn't it?
Yeah. Is it Farben?
IG Farben.
IG Farben.
IG Farben is like the parent company of the
IG Schwaben.
Well, IG Farben, for anyone who doesn't know, IG Farben is the parent company of like IBM, the German part of General Motors. So it was like basically the one half of the business enterprise that was World War II.
Well, I think so. IG Farben towards the end of World War II started making one of the poisonous gases. I think it was, what was it for the Vietnam?
Agent Orange.
Agent Orange, yeah.
Wasn't it?
Or something.
Yeah, Bayer. It's the same company. Yeah, so it's all the same thing. Yeah, it's all the same company. It's like IBM made their first ever thing they ever made was the clocking machine at Auschwitz. That was the first ever international business machines, clocking machine at Auschwitz. That's your claim to fame.
So yeah, but my point is about the Monsanto thing, and it talks about like even us that are awake and aware, and I sort of want to make the point about GMO and how what we eat makes us GMO, and it has probably been like that all our life. I remember my grandma years ago saying that the vegetables in her day were better, and that links to soil, etc. But also,
because of soil degradation, pesticides.
Yeah.
Well, we've talked about it on this show since day one that, this show started because of my reactions to the Soviet Union, but we'd always talked about the multi-layer attack, whether it's chemicals, whether it's in our water sprayed onto our food, whether it's education. We've tried to cover psyops, we've done this cultural Marxism. It's a multi-layered attack.
It's all about underlying the health.
Underlying the natural being.
Yeah.
Lowering vibrations.
Yeah, sorry, I unmuted you, Word Nerd, because you've got a bit of feedback. You're just a little bit quiet there.
So next we have the Vatican and dimensional entities.
Oh yeah, we love that.
I mean that I'm sorry, right, but that's telling you straight up everything you need to know. Literally everything you need to know right there.
Yeah.
You don't need to do anything else. You just need to look at that and say no, thank you, and walk as far away from them as you possibly can with your children.
Well, it's funny because I've got a close-up of the head, not in this presentation, but there is a close-up of the head. And if you look at I'll put the mouse on it, but so the left half of the face, if you look closely, is the face of JC. Now, whether JC, and this links to this links to Godvaj with JC, Julius Caesar, Julius Caesar, JC, and whether it was actually watching Godvaj really made me question what and who both of them were, and it leads me to believe that, you know, look at what they're showing us. So the left side of the face looks like Jesus Christ, and the right side of the face is what looks like a dragon or
a snake. It's a reptilian.
Yeah, you know,
some sort of reptilian representation.
And so this hall is actually the Black Mass Hall, which is, I think it's underneath the Vatican a little bit. So it's partly in the necropolis.
Look how small they are in front of it with those stupid jester Swiss guards they have. Like that. I mean, I hate to say it. Why would you dress like that apart from to take part in some sort of occult ritual? Look at the state of that.
Well, it's funny. I heard someone talk about the Swiss guards, and I'm sure their uniform is like the jester from a deck of cards, but I'm sure somebody mentioned. I also know from...
It's mocking because you've got to be at such a low level of consciousness to do that job, is to guard them whilst they do the shit they do. So
Totally.
they dress them like a clown because that's what they are.
Fucking clowns.
So yeah, but I also heard one other story about, it also links to the Freemasons, but I heard that the Swiss guards, so I think over half of them did not want to get needle crafted. And I think there's been a massive dispute in the Vatican over protection. So anyway, we'll see what that.
Well, one of there are members of the Vatican speaking out against Lord Schwab and the Great Reset. That cardinal, that Catholic cardinal, is very vocal.
There's actually a clip of him in one of my video clips. Sorry, I've got a clip of the Vatican exorcist. Sorry.
Should we go to the next slide?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we got John Dee and Queen Elizabeth.
The original Jimmy Savile.
Yeah, it's funny when you said Jimmy Savile earlier, and John Dee, and I said earlier, I've always wanted to know who was inside Jimmy Savile's head, and I really wonder now whether it actually was John Dee. It does make me think that a bit, but we'll see. But John Dee. So John Dee was Queen Elizabeth I. He was her sort of, not spiritual guide, but astronomer. He was also a high-level Mason. He was part of some secret societies. He was a writer.
He was a polymath.
He was just an all-round... He was in the club, I'd say. But he also... do you know the story about Edward Kelly and John Dee?
I've heard it, yeah.
So the story about, so Edward Kelly was, I don't know what, he was similar to John Dee, but not quite as high up. But John Dee was very good friends with Edward Kelly. And they ended up swapping wives, didn't they? So that's the story. So demons. So John Dee was experimenting with necromancy and black magic and stuff.
Were they trying to write a book?
I can't remember the whole story, but yeah.
And it was to do with demonology and sort of summoning and incantations, and they had some big disagreements. I think didn't John Dee start writing it in a language that no one had ever heard before?
Yeah, I think you might be right.
It's a really crazy story.
Yeah. So what happened? So demons, I think, got inside John Dee's head, and the demons said that they must swap wives, and they did that. And things just fell apart after that for both of them. And I think their lives went downhill after that, and they didn't speak. But anyway, but that's just an example of a parasite, a demon being in someone's head, you know, and it's strange. So yeah.
Yeah, definite progenitor to the Jimmy Savile archetype.
Yeah.
Even looks like him.
Yeah. Actually. That on the left is a portrait of Edward Kelly and John Dee, getting up to there. Looks like a Ouija board or something. No one, I'm not sure. But yeah, the story of and it also goes to the alien deception. like with demons, and it depends again what sort of level your research is at. You know, like a year ago, I was looking at the globe, I was looking at NASA's satellites.
Thinking about Zeta Reticuli greys and reptilians and stuff. Yeah, I went through that stage as well. And
same, you know, and about 6 months ago, I was going like Master Lee says about the flat plane realm. That's where I am kind of still. But then the crater Earth, like that the Ben stone.
I still haven't seen God Badger's latest. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Ben Stone too. Yeah.
Oh, I still haven't seen it.
It's really good.
Big up Wim. If you're watching, please appear in the comments section like the Candyman like you did last time. That was quality. It's God Badge here. It's like, yes.
Do you know what's funny, right, about the latest God Badge?
Go on.
Last week I mentioned about I sort of like hinted and said, well, I wonder what God Badge would say about the spinning spirals of the water, as you know, from the northern and southern hemisphere. And lo and behold, it's in his next video.
Mate, it's weird. It's weird how, like, you know, we think of something that appears in a God Badge video, or like, you know, sometimes we're doing a Friday night show
as well. It was just an off comment.
He drops a video on a Saturday morning, and it's like, well, he's probably making that video last night. He's talking about the same stuff as us. It's really we have the same synchronicity with yourself. You know, the presentation you've brought tonight is like wicked because it's a consolidation and it's an amalgamation of all these different sort of ideas we've been talking about. And I can see, I can already see what you're building up to.
Yeah,
it's like,
it goes way into DARPA, and it's crazy. It really is crazy. So, like I said before, I wish it was more positive, but it's also interesting, and like all this stuff is out there, and people need to wake up and see what's coming, because it is accelerating, you know. So
it's been a long time in the making. What's the greatest apocalypse ever?
So
yes, our favourite subject.
So we have Vlad the III, Prince Charles Sausage Fingers.
Oh, he's actually hiding his sausage fingers. The hidden hand of sausages.
The sausage fingers actually make a special appearance in one of the other slides.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, it's close up as well. But anyway, but you got Jimmy So Vile on the left.
Look at his medals he's wearing.
Yeah.
He's wearing like a policeman's badge.
Is that Star of David or not?
No, because that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
7. Double square.
That's a double square. That's an 8-pointed star.
But he has got the Jerusalem cross.
He's like he's walking around in like a tartan tracksuit with like the dopest medals, pointing at sausage fingers. Like imagine if you've got command over sausage fingers, like you can just point your jingle jangles at him that.
It's exactly like that photo of the Rothschild. I think it's Evelyn Rothschild's pointed at Charles, you know.
Evelyn the Rothschild.
But that's what I meant about, like I said before about Jimmy Savile, and I don't know. So I've researched him a little bit, but he seems to be above a royal level of, you know.
Well, it's like I said, after his meat suit expired, the House of Saxe-Coburg-Gotha went seriously downhill. I mean, I don't know if you noticed, after their Grand Magi left the physical realm, before he was being able to, you know, be reincarnated into Steve Coogan's meat suit, the House of Saxe-Coburg-Gotha was like everything fell apart from them. Like that, one of them officially left. It's like, I'm not part of this family anymore. Well, he wasn't part of the family in the first place. The ginger one.
I mean, Steve Coogan's currently in training at the moment, isn't he? I think.
I think it's like the bedding in period. It's like the 14-day cooling off period when you have an ancient demonic entity come into your meat suit.
I think it's 33 months it takes.
33 months bedded in period. Because obviously, you know, the meat suit might reject the energy of Grand Lord Savile.
Yeah.
But Steve Coogan might not even be worthy for all we know. Maybe he hasn't got the
maybe it's
the minerals.
Not Savile, like Rob was saying. Maybe it's John D. So it's actually Steve Coogan's being taken over, reanimated as John D.
But it's funny because like and also just to finish on this slide with the picture in the middle. Okay, so that's like
sorry, any Guardians.
So that's like a dark entity, let's say, and it goes back to the story of the Nephilim. Now, the Nephilim are mentioned in the Bible only twice, and not that I've read the Bible, but I know this from other research. But like everybody thinks the Nephilim were giants, and the Nephilim weren't just giants. So the giants in the Bible were called Gabor, which is Hebrew for giant.
Okay.
And so the Nephilim actually cover a range of things, whether it be chimera.
Okay.
So you got animal hybrids, demons, and it's strange, but yeah, I'm sort of like stabbing at what sort of controlling the.
You're beating around the bush at the moment, aren't you?
Exactly, beating around the lavender bush.
Beating around the Savile bush. In The Guardian, sorry about you being muted. There was some muffling going on with your connection. I can tell you want to say something about this.
No, it was from the previous stuff. It doesn't matter.
Oh right, sorry. Yeah,
That's
I
right.
was getting some feedback. So, but
Really?
okay. Well, are you sure there's anything you don't want to allude to, demons or parasites, before we move on? Because we've covered a little bit there, and I think we're about to bring it up to speed.
We'd all like your take, Master Lee.
Yeah, let me just go back. When we're talking, we've covered Savile to John D.
Well,
Go for it,
yeah,
Master
I'll
Lee.
just say Savile is probably of the royal family, because people think that those in the royal family are the ones that you see, but actually there's a lot more royals born on the wrong side of the bed, so to speak. So there's actually a lot of royals out there with different names.
Yeah, if you think about it, even in Game of Thrones, who ends up becoming the fucking king of all kings? It's Jon Snow, the bastard. Isn't it? The bastard. Jon Snow, he ends up becoming not just king of the North, he becomes the king. So yeah, who are we to... I mean, who are we to say that on the actual proper blood lineage that Savile wasn't higher?
I would say it was.
Yeah, I would say it was.
I agree as well.
Well, look at the way he interacted with the royals. He wasn't their guest. It's like they were his guest. They were his guest at their house.
He was a star. He was always a star.
And didn't he call his mother Queenie?
Yeah, Queenie. He was consulted to be the marriage counsellor for Sausage Fingers and Princess Di. He was the marriage counsellor. Did marriage counselling. They called. Who are you going to call in? Like Jeffrey Epstein was called in to be marriage counsellor for for Health Chancellor Gates.
Yeah.
You know about that?
Yeah.
I'm not making this up.
No, it's there, mate. It's there.
I know it sounds like I'm making this up. It sounds like a Lance joke from 2020. But
well,
it's
who
true.
would you call if you're in a death cult? Who would you call? You'd call a paedophile, wouldn't you? Everything's inverted.
Well, basically, if you're in a death cult, it just depends on what side of the Atlantic you're on. The number one agony aunt / relationship counsellor is either Jeffrey Epstein,
or Jimmy Savile,
Cornerstone, or Grand Magi Savile. It's like, who are you going to call when you got a problem? I'll call the boss. Oh, rise above, bitches.
Rise above, generate, rise above, extinguish fear, rise above.
390 people tuned in. Right, Demons and Parasites. Esoteric Knight of Malta, Rob, is our guest. We're talking about the new hybrid age and the rise of the new Nephilim.
Can I just mention before we carry on, actually, look closely at Jimmy Savile's cap.
Look at the way he's holding the cap.
No, but look what's coming out the lips. It's just everything. Like it's just, yeah.
It's that picture speaks 1,000 words.
Yeah.
Look at what he's wearing. It's like that is because he's like a Scottish rite of Freemasonry. So you might just think, oh, he's wearing a tracksuit because he's like, oh, jingle jangle, Jimmy Savile. That's probably like that's the highest level of Freemasonic garb you can wear. That's a Grand Dragon 333 degrees fucking paedophile mason. This guy, don't muscle. He's even got like a big Jippo chain on his like bracelet on his wrist as well. Like Jesus.
It's the foo-foo of the Freemason world.
Yeah, he's like the Juju master, Grand Shaman.
I was at the next one. Okay, yeah, this is quite an interesting one actually. So the next slide is Obama, Mr. Barry Soetoro.
Bazza.
Yeah, and
Big Baz.
This is a slide from my previous presentation before I watched Godvag.
Right.
So it's date.
Oh yeah, because I wanted to bring this up, right? Because you told me you only just completed your Godvag, your first course of Godvag. Because I'll tell you, Rob, one course of Godvag is good once you've watched it 3 times.
Yeah.
When you've watched it 3 times through, because mate, even on the second time, it was still blowing my mind.
Yeah.
Mate, the first time Andy PG showed me Godvag live on air, do you remember?
Yeah, I remember, mate.
I remember I'd only seen Godvag via the filter of John Levy talking about Crater Earth. I was like, wow, let me show that to the fam. And then when he's like, have you watched the rest of that channel? I was like, no. And I was so busy at the time, I just disregarded what he said. He's like, "You want to watch that channel?" I was like, "Yeah, whatever." He brought it on the show, mate. I was almost banging my head on the desk. I was like, "What the fuck? Vikings are Jews? What?" But like, yeah.
There's a counter-rotating pyramid system.
The first time I showed it,
energy.
yeah, what, on the counter-rotational Who star? No, please. The first time I showed it to the Emperor, she was like, "What the fuck is this?" The second time, she was like, "Holy shit." On the third watch, she's like, "I'm really starting to understand this now. Like, this is deep.
Do you think,
Godfather's the best."
Do you think Wim will be watching this?
I'm sure he's watching it.
Like,
if he's not tuned in now,
can
he'll
I
watch it.
Okay, can I say something to him?
Of course.
No, I'd like to know his take on Mount Meru.
Actually, so we got Mount Meru coming up later. Actually, it's towards the end of the whole presentation. But yeah, it does feature, yeah, definitely. And I was thinking, actually, I was actually watching Godvaj about a week ago. So I've watched his channel once now. And this is what I love about different theories and different levels of consciousness and different levels of research. So I was watching it, and he's showing you the 3D crater map, and he showed you Antarctica, and he mentioned Operation High Jump, and it was seeing the height of Antarctica. Thanks, Auntie. And yeah, so seeing the height of Antarctica, and then I thought, Operation High Jump, what were they trying to jump?
The ice wall.
Yeah. And
Let me
I was
recapitulate. We were trying to jump over the ice wall.
That's what yeah.
Love Godfadge, mate. So someone in the comments, Sal Marissa, I guess you must be new to Rise Above. Welcome to the Rabbit Table. What is this Godfadge? Can someone put the link for Godfadge Mass's official YouTube channel, please? Because we're too busy here because we're talking about Godfadge.
Holy Whim.
Holy Whim, the ultimate seer of the Coviot crater. Yeah, sorry, what you saying?
So we also got Operation High Jump, but that's getting digress. It comes up later anyway. But on this slide, you got ancient Egypt and the Great Pyramid Wars, and the Great Pyramid Wars, and again it looks into ancient Egypt, the size and how the pyramids were built. So most of those blocks were like 80 tons each. Like they cannot be moved by logs and like pushing them along timbers.
Kill 1,000 slaves, still can't move that block, comrade. You can have a pile of dead slaves so slippery the block almost slides down the hill, but it's still not moving.
Yeah, so it leads me to believe with what we know about free energy. Also in I think it was a complex near the pyramids. But they had a lot of tuning forks up, and so these tuning forks like harness this free energy.
I think. Sorry, but my research has led me to believe this has something to do with crystalline technology. So whether that, like you're saying, these forks are used in conjunction with some certain types of crystals, maybe in a certain configuration or something. I wouldn't know how it works. I don't.
Ley lines.
Maybe possibly, and certain configurations of different crystals, and you can harness, like you say, free energy, like Tesla was. Maybe that was part of Tesla's technology, was crystalline research. We don't know because he got silenced, but yeah, very interesting. Continue.
It's funny about Tesla. I'm only going to touch on this. I am or was more so a huge fan of Tesla, but watching Godfadge's channel, he mentioned something about Tesla and the people he hung around with. And do you know what? It's like the whole Ra, and it's like the counter-clockwise pyramids. But so my point is about Nicholas Tesla, 369. So these numbers, they aren't happy numbers, for me. And I kind of got an inkling about, I made some big threads. I'll do an episode on them. I've got the threads stored on. So I was on Twitter last year. I had 8,500 followers, and I got deleted overnight. Anyway, but I actually saved all my threads as PDFs.
Twitter's quite good for that, like really long threads, and people get into them.
It was good for that. That's why I got so many followers. But so I saved them all a week before I got deleted. It's like I could see it coming. But anyway, but Tesla, I think is a distraction. I think he's like a scapegoat, like he was supposed to be.
I think he was probably he's like an Elon Musk character.
Kinda, yeah.
do you remember there was someone on the Titanic that they needed to get rid of who was opposing
There
the
was loads
Federal
of people
Reserve?
on
Yeah,
the
but
Titanic. There was like 150 people apparently on the Titanic. There were all of the people in the whole world, all the big rich oligarchs that were basically
going to oppose the Federal
Reserve.
Yeah.
Or they
could oppose the Federal Reserve.
They had the power to put Inner Guardians got booted out.
I think
welcome back.
I personally think Tesla was in a similar situation like that. He was opposing these people. Maybe he was in their circles. Doesn't mean he couldn't have changed and be like, no, this is wrong, and then change his mind and be like, no, I'm gonna use my. Maybe he was researching this for nefarious purposes and then saw the light and changed it over and was like, no, I'm going to try to bring this to humanity. And the Death Cult said, no.
Death Cult says no.
Yeah,
comrade.
and then you're out.
But it's also like, so if we go back to Obama here, but it's funny because like if I've got a video, it's on one of my other episodes on my channel, but there's a video of Obama when he goes to Egypt in 2008, and he goes to see the statue of Akhenaten, and I think it's the guide of the pyramid says to Obama, "You look really like him," and he just smiles and says, "I know." I've got a video, but Obama does look.
Obama's fucking weird, man.
It leads to reincarnation and also Osiris, but I've heard stories. Personally, I think Barry was here in Egyptian times. Yeah, he was here in Egypt.
Eternal occurrence. Nothing ain't new to us.
So it's kind of like Do these characters, do these entities reanimate in different resets, different civilizations?
In the Guardians, I'd like to hear your view on that.
That's a possibility.
Sorry,
well, I'll take it a step back to the pyramids. My personal take on the pyramids is that they were used as a massive distraction away from Mount Meru. That's the first thing, and I think a lot of the Egyptian stuff is kind of almost the disinfo of that age.
Right, I've noticed you've started talking about Mount Meru, and you've never talked about a historical landmark like this before, Master Lee. Are you talking about this Mount Meru place because, like in the same reference that Godvaj talks about, like this could be the place where the Ark or some sort of craft bringing some sort of outer terrestrial craterish technology entities here? Is this what the significance of this Mount Meru is? Is this why you're mentioning it?
No, not really. I think my personal take on it is that the map is not the territory. So the map that we're given, the obvious maps that we're given, are definitely not the territory. The territory has been hidden from us over thousands of years.
Yeah.
And this realm this world that is shown to us is exactly nothing like what it actually is. So as an example, for me, Mount Meru would be the place where the essence, the soul, comes in and out of this realm.
Okay, so you're talking about maybe the gateway, the portal of
the Aurora Borealis.
Wait a minute, because this is a whole other.
It's funny. I've got a story about a Stargate and a portal, and it leads to the Tower. It'll come up later on in the presentation, but
I mean, I could do a whole show about Stargate SG-1 and some of those.
So the story of the Tower of Babel wasn't actually as high as people think. It was more wide. It was I think it was about 1.5 miles wide apparently, but the story was that they were actually trying to create a Stargate on top of the Tower of Babel, and again it goes back to being like civilizations of past, Samaria, Babylon, Egypt. They all had advanced technology, and it even goes back to Quetzal, etc.
You guys you know about Project Stargate on for the in the USA government, the Project Stargate.
There's real Project Stargate. Yeah,
for sure.
Exactly.
It's the remote viewing project. Yeah, amongst other things.
Oh, is that what the remote viewing project is called? I thought they were two separate things.
It's part of the Crest. It's part of the Crest project. The whole thing's called Crest.
Right.
It's a big release that the CIA put on their website quite a long time ago. We looked through it years ago in the studio labs.
I remember. I remember.
But it's really interesting because they're made
before the Soviet Union.
Before
when we just used to do research for fun instead of to save our life.
It's all preparation. You know?
Yeah. Back when we were training for Rise Above.
It's all prerequisite knowledge.
That was it, but roughly the year 6 BC, before COVID. Yeah.
If you look at this type of stuff, it's technology of that era. It's no different to what we see today. So you've got basically technology versus nature, and as without, so within. So instead of us living on this kind of planet surrounded by technology, in actual fact, we're living in a realm, as without, so within, which is a living organism, a living being, of which we interact with it. It's just the agenda is to separate us from the realm.
Yeah, well, or to disorientate us within the realm, to hand us the wrong map. Yeah, it comes back to the other,
multiple wrong maps.
It's just to keep us
the map
in a
is
state
not the
of
terrain. That's
confusion.
one of the best things that in the Guardian has come out with, I think.
It's also on this.
Yeah. I think we should have that as a jingle. Actually, the map ain't the terrain, because I actually really like that phrase.
We also need a button. Trust the science. Definitely. Sorry.
2 weeks to flatten the curve.
Yeah, 2 weeks to flatten the curve.
But if we're not going to look at it quickly now, but the picture on the left and the top. So we also see the animal with the horns, also the goat. The unit, not a unicorn, but the picture on the top right. That can you zoom in on that, Lance, on the top right?
All I can do. Oh, wait a second. I can make it a bit bigger like this.
So the picture on the top right is the face of that animal is actually like a dragon.
It's one here.
Yeah, and it's people can screenshot it and zoom in as well.
Yeah,
but it's it's trying to discern whether what is God, what is in control. Also, I'd love to know who lives in the castle on Mount Meru, because I think that is the number one question. Like this issue of Mount Meru, and why is it so hidden?
You see,
and
do you
think someone actually lives in that castle, or do you think that it's used for nefarious purposes?
Your mic's well loud. Get a little bit further away.
Oh right,
Maybe
it's too loud now.
I'd be interested to see if it was on a ley line.
I think most castles.
I bet my.
Sorry, Rob, but I actually missed what you said. Do you think someone actually lives there, or do you think it's used as a hall for nefarious tactics and purposes?
I'd say the Lord of the Earth lives there.
Do you think it's Lord Schwab's dynasty?
Lord Schwab's boss.
If we're talking about Babylon, we're talking about Gilgamesh or Oannes.
Sure.
But
we're talking about what we call non-human entities, I think.
Yeah,
who lives there.
That's a great question, because it also links to like all these characters, like especially Quetzalcoatl. I'm not going to tell you right now what I told Lance earlier about the sky thing, and it's crazy because it goes back to Samaria, it goes back to the Anunnaki and the scriptures and the cuneiform texts, but it also really, it depends how you interpret scriptures, and when you hear sky people or
because here's the other thing. When I've looked into the Sumerian tablets, the Epic of Gilgamesh, the ancient Babylonian tales, what I've noticed is that gods, planets, and kings are completely interchangeable. So it's for instance, Marduk, right?
All the same.
They're all the same thing. Marduk was apparently a king that lived for, 800 years, don't know, roughly. He was also a demigod with, a giant, but he was also a crater that crashed into, or potentially what was a progenitor of Earth. So it's like, what are you actually looking at here? But then that's the same with the whole analogy of Saturn, because
Saturn,
Kronos. It's the same with
Saturn, Kronos.
Another good one's Tiamat, which is the dragon, but also the planet, and it's also like.
Seeing templates run throughout.
Yeah, it's like you're talking about when you compare all the different civilizations. It's like you're talking about the same
I
person.
think it's very cultural.
Different names for the same thing. That's what
I think
King
it's very
David said.
cultural. Yeah, it's like the goddess. Like there's loads of different names for the goddess, isn't there?
I've got
Mary, Isis. It's all the same thing.
I've got a wild theory. Just briefly touch on that to finish on it. But what if all those civilizations in different places around the world were actually happening at the same time? And
the multiverse.
And no, but the history wasn't this missing part of history.
Yeah.
And it just gets so weird then, but it's something's not right with our history and the mud floods and all these buildings that have been discovered. And
It's almost like our history has been lied about so much. We even tried to unpack it. It's like, well,
I think
where
it's
would
a
I even
continual
start?
reset.
I think
What's
continual reset.
What's your take on Enoch and the Anunnaki?
Yeah, well, I have definitely, and I think there's a slide with Enoch, Thoth, Hermes, and Mercury. But I'll go back to Enoch, and Enoch is a funny one because, like you say, his scripture says that he walked with God and he was picked up and this and that. And when you look into, I think it's the Book of Jubilee or the Book of, I can't remember the book, but he talks about Enoch going up to the stars, and if you think of that. About Enoch being taken in a spaceship and he was given all this information and brought back down. It's not like it confuses religious scriptures, doesn't it?
But I've also heard that in books that were basically omitted from the Bible, that when Enoch went up to the kingdom of heaven, he sat on a chair that was higher than Yahweh. And Yahweh is the name of the God, the God that poses as the creator of the whole universe.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
I think when we're looking at this stuff, you do have to use a degree of discernment. Whether
Absolutely.
Because it can be actual historical, physical events that happened in time at physical geographical locations, which might not necessarily be here anymore.
Me and the missus have actually had full-blown arguments about this, right?
It can be allegorical, or it can be symbolic, or it can be occulted in some other way. There's 4 options there.
And I've said it's often the best way to conceptualize it is if you're talking about something that's happened in celestial bodies or in mythological gods, you can actually be talking about a story that has been transposed into a dynasty of physical rulers of the earth, playing out that archetype, using that archetype throughout time for their own gains.
Which is like reincarnation.
Exactly.
Rabbit
business.
It all comes back to control.
Yeah. It's a lineage, a hierarchical lineage of control.
If you think about it, if you've got a story which it works to control people, and it touches them in the ways which only Jimmy can, for example.
Nice.
So
lovely.
They're going to replay it every time they can. For every time they reset, they've got their book, they've got their
the blueprint works.
They've even got their history books. Who's to say that all of the history we know never actually even happened, and we are stage 1 of the new birth of the generation.
If the blueprint works, why would you ever change it? We know that the agents of the parasite have no creativity. They have a blueprint that's super duper effective.
But
it's worked from time memorial. Don't change it.
It's all consensual. They do this with tools. You think their tools are the monetary system, religion, things like that, right? And the education system.
Master psychology.
They get you thinking the same way, but everyone has to, like, money doesn't exist. Everyone has to believe in money to do it. They have to get you to believe.
Gold exists. They got you to believe in it doesn't exist.
How fun it is.
It's all consensual. If society consensualizes to money, then they can use that as a control. That Otherwise, it's who's got the most turnips or who's got the most potatoes.
I've got the most potatoes, comrade.
It is. It's literally that, in what region you live in and what you can grow to survive. That, and if you've got livestock, loads of sheep, and you make wool blankets or something like that, that's how it would have been one time before this monetary system got injected. And I don't know if you're going to go into this in your presentation or touch on this, but like that's getting back to like interference from other entities with our species again in our genetics. Why wouldn't they just give us this monetary system to fuck us over even more?
Well, it comes from Babylon, doesn't it? And it also goes back to, if you go back to the scriptures of Babylon, but it's when God separated all language between civilizations on Earth, and that's when
God with a small g in inverted commas.
Yeah, what whoever God is, and
it's more like the priest class claiming to be working on behalf of God, more like we know.
So well, we can go on to Adam and Eve and the serpent seed, and again, I've never read the Bible. I've read the Book of Enoch, but Book of Jubilee, but Adam and Eve and the serpent seed. So Adam and Eve, if you go back through scriptures, if you think of the father of Noah, who was Methuselah. So Methuselah lived to 969 years. But that's better. But also, if we look at Adam, there's various scriptures that say Adam was a giant, and it goes throughout. When you go back through this sort of lineage, then it talks about Adam, Noah. You got the sons of Seth, sons of Cain, Seth, and Seth, yeah, and it really goes into the story of giants, and we can look into what's been discovered on Earth and what's been
hidden in the Smithsonian Museum.
I was just going to say that.
Sorry, I did an anti-PG on you there.
I was literally going to say that. I was literally going to say that. But yeah, it's and it's what you want to believe, but it does, like the story of Adam and Eve and how Eve was beguiled by Satan, the art of deception, etc. And it also links to the reptilian brain, the way the Canaanite bloodline, it goes back to ancient bloodlines and stuff as well. But yeah, let's go on to the next one.
Some of these comments we got here, like some of the people you were just talking about, I think Methuselah lived till 800 years old.
Well, if you 69, but
if you
in a G.
If you factor in mentalism, now for those who are not aware of what mentalism is, in a nutshell, it's mind precedes matter. So as an example, if you're into mentalism, you will ascribe to, or many will ascribe to, that things like disease, sickness, and death starts in the mind. Now, if you were never told about such subjects of these, you would end up living a lot longer and not suffering from any disease. I have postulated before about what we're potentially witnessing now with the so-called pandemic. It could actually be very psychophysical, because if you think about it, we've had 24 hours, 7 days a week of sickness being broadcast, and for those that consume the mainstream media, potentially it's going to make people sick.
Yeah, it's a psychosomatic sickness.
Yeah, so hypothetically, if you ascribe to mentalism, if nobody ever told you about sickness or old age, death, or how high you should be, you would potentially live a lot longer, or potentially live forever. Now, what that could mean is that there has been times where people haven't been bombarded with the science of sickness and death, so therefore they lived a lot longer and got bigger and stronger.
Well,
so potentially after this pandemic, humanity or humans, if they keep this up, we could actually live a lot shorter and become sicker and smaller and weaker.
Yeah, because we've been conditioned to. Like the baby boomer generation was always told 70 years and 10. 70 years. Your innings is 70 years. That was drummed into everyone. And I guess that comes off some World Health Organization or some UN numbers saying, oh, we've beat the average life expectancy. It's gone past 70 years for the first time ever. What, since you started recording things in 1850, comrade? Yeah, nice one. So it's like one of those ones, we're told that we live for 70 years. So we live roughly 70 years and then we snuff it. Well, if we start to be told that we're bombarded with 33,000 new variants of crown virus, then, imagine if the average life expectancy in the West goes down to like 55, like it's in Africa. Well, I can see that happening in like 15, 20 years.
Yeah, and you can see this manifesting already. So even if you take it back 2 years ago or pre-2019, when you met somebody, you potentially wasn't really concerned about what type of variant they were carrying or spreading, or had they washed their hands and so on and so forth. Whereas now, it's become like the new normal. When you meet somebody, I'm not saying about myself, but I guess a lot of the normicrons, that would be the first consideration.
Have you had Omicron yet? Hi.
Yeah.
Have you had Omicron?
Yeah, and this also goes back to the other things, and this is kind of confirmation or proof positive of mentalism. the conspiracy theorists, so-called, probably won't get sick. They haven't been tested. They haven't been to the Britney Spears concert, and they'll probably be okay. At worst, they'll just get a really bad flu.
Yeah, well, I think that's really true. I mean, apart from in July and August this year, when it seemed like a lot of non-COVID people that hadn't been anywhere near Britney Spears concerts got sick, including myself. I don't know if you remember, I was quite ill at my wedding. Obviously, I didn't have Divot because I didn't take a Divot test. I was just regularly sick, like most other people that get sick and you feel a bit shit for a few days. But I mean, did anyone else notice that? Like early on in this year, like July and August. I don't know.
Yeah.
Around here, you remember when like everyone we knew that hadn't been to Britney Spears concert in a space of 1 month or maybe 2 months.
Yeah,
everyone either has spent a week in bed feeling like shit or couldn't taste anything for 3 weeks. It happened to everyone.
Mark Devlin, he put a video up about he went off the radar for about two and a half weeks, and he got he was proper bedridden. He said he was like really the worst he's ever been, and he reckons it was either the Divock or maybe some certain frequency might have been I don't know, turned up from some emitting.
If you feel sick,
towers.
I feel bad for you, son. I've got 90 problems, but a Divock ain't one.
See what's funny, right? Throughout all this, and I'm not going to say any like wrong words here for the platform, but
that's okay.
But there's a quick summary, okay? And if you look into the symptoms of radiation poisoning, like the symptoms of radiation,
pentojizzle.
Yeah,
that's the code word.
Oh, is it
pentojizzle?
Okay, right. If you look into the symptoms of pentojizzle, not intergalactic sperm, pentojizzle. But like this,
radiation poisoning from pentojizzle.
It started out with that last year, yeah. Do you know it goes into the control towers and all that stuff? But
yeah. Do you know what's really interesting? We've got a guest. Our first guest next year is called John Hamer, and he's coming on in January, and he's going to talk about the first part of the 20th century and about the First and Second World War, and about how potentially what we call Spanish flu could have been the
introduction.
Introduction of a certain radio technology.
Every time they've implemented something globally, same as when they put there was telephones implemented, and they did when sonar and other radio waves were implemented. There was
like swine flu, bird flu, SARS, 1G, 2G, 3G.
Yeah.
Am I back in?
Yeah. You got booted out.
Yeah. Right. I've been thinking all this week about this heart attack thing. I'm actually starting to have a conclusion that it's not actually caused by the Britney Spears concert.
Wow. Okay.
But I mean,
so are you talking about the myocarditis and the pericarditis side effects dips?
Yeah, potentially. I don't think. Well, I think it could be something more than what they're telling us, and if anything. This is a bit of a reach and a bit of a long shot.
We like those here.
They could actually be using the Britney Spears concert as the excuse for something far worse.
Oh, naughty. So now we've got to use some really deep Aboriginal and occult language. We could be talking about these incidences of the double side effect dip pots are being potentially occultly blamed on attendance of a Britney Spears concert.
Yeah.
But that's a double false flag attack on the actual EMF radiation from pentojizzle.
Well, no. It might not even be from pentojizzle. What I'm saying is, right, that think about it, right? It's so obvious that it's the Britney Spears concert, yeah? It's so obvious.
It's well obvious.
It's so in your face that
even official COVID science tells us it is.
Yeah, so that tells me that it can't be that.
Like Nando's pericarditis is the most popular side effects in the whole COVID union. Even the scientists.
So think about it, right? This whole rollout, right? This whole drive for the Britney Spears tour, and the attendance is a smokescreen for something far worse that they're trying to cover.
Oh, mate.
Sorry about that.
Coincidence.
No, I'm glad you saved this to the last show of the year because, if we get a strike, it's going to take at least 5 weeks to recover from what you just said.
Right, and it could actually...
Lucky I'm going to Mexico.
It could actually turn out that everybody that's fighting this procedure is actually chasing a red herring.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I have thought about that. I have thought about
I've thought that they actually want people like us to do this. Like we're somehow doing their job for them on their behalf.
Well, if we know anything about the master psychologist occultist, that would be a pretty good fucking bet.
Yeah, and the Hegelian dialectic means that it doesn't matter what side you're on, it's the same outcome anyway.
Antithesis.
Yeah.
Synthesis, comrades. Yeah.
There you go. So we might be actually
maybe
doing...
we're providing the antithesis to the thesis.
We don't know, but that has gone through my mind.
Have you ever thought? Have you ever thought to yourself, with what we know, have you ever sat back and thought, are we actually the ones that are nuts?
I consider it periodically. I consider that periodically as a good safety measure, and then I do a quick IQ test on the internet, and then I remember everything that I've ever learned, and then I focus my memories with intent. And then I execute the answer, and the answer's no.
Well, the mere fact, right? The mere fact that you have that thought, the mere fact that you have that thought shows objective reason. Now,
no, but I hope I'm
yeah,
mad.
because to question yourself is a sign of intelligence, and this is where the stupid, they never question themselves. So I think it's a good sign.
Trust the science.
My biggest critic is, Lance, you're fucking nuts. You smoke too much weed. How could everything you possibly say be true? And I was like, listen, I hope that what I think is a result of me having a very close relationship with Mary Jane. I hope it's that, because that would be great. If it's just me and I've just smoked too much weed and everything
I'm giving you to the count of 5 to apologize to me publicly for calling me stupid.
That would be much better than the Soviet Union being real. And I'm going to hold up my hands and say it. I hope that Lord Schwab has got the good intentions and the Great Reset is going to be lovely for everyone. I hope I'm wrong about it. Because what would be the worst thing? Would it be worse that I'm just that crazy guy off the internet with stupid hair? Or would it be worse that I was right?
No.
We know which one is worse. Yeah. Even for me or the rest of the world.
What happens to option C? Both.
Yeah. Oh, what? But, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's a very good one. The third option. Yeah. We like the third option around here.
Well, I think, in esoteric schools, we call it the terror of the situation. You can't really get anywhere. You can't get any traction. You can't develop a soul in its full entirety until you go through the terror of the situation, which could be likened to the dark night of the soul. So you kind of got to go through all of this stuff to actually get the traction, get the friction to use as a catalyst.
It's a process, comrade.
Yeah, it's not a destination. This is the process.
Yeah. This is a cog in the machine. It's not the
Yeah, when Rob mentioned about it being quite a dark presentation, for me that doesn't scare me. In fact, the darker the better in some ways, because at some point in your life or your timeline, you do have to go through it. You're going to have to go through it. I'd rather go through it now than on my deathbed.
It's the best thing ever, as far as I'm concerned. I love this apocalypse.
Yeah.
No, I'm not afraid to say it now. I openly say it. You coined the greatest apocalypse ever. We made a couple of shows about it. Now I talk about it every week. I love the apocalypse. This is the best thing that's ever happened, as far as I'm concerned. It is. It's really sad that people. It's sad that people are dying, but people die every day. 500,000 people die in the United Kingdom and the Soviet Union every year. Now they've just put a different label on it. No apologies. Right, that's the Schwab show.
So we can do a couple more slides and we'll go a break.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
We go break now.
What are you saying?
It's up to Rob. He's the one hosting, man.
Well, you section this third before we go to Omus and Beats.
So we'll do a couple more.
Go on.
So we're still on the subject of Adam, Eve, and the serpent seed, and we look at a picture of Moses. It's a statue of Moses from El Vaticano City, and what's he got on his head? He seems to have horns on his head, like
maybe mushrooms.
fungi.
Small nubular chode.
Maybe one of his friends put his fingers up behind his head while the sculptor was making it.
Isn't that the same thing that Fauci had coming out of his head on the front of Time magazine? It looks exactly the same. You seen that? Dr. Fauci on the front of Time magazine with the M from Time. It looks exactly the same. Yeah, we'll find it in a second.
It's funny.
We should have you over there doing Andy PG.
See that M, and you think of McDonald's and think of the Arch of Baal.
Yep.
And it links to so many things.
The Arch of Baal.
Yeah. But yeah, and it goes back to Jimmy Savile. Who was Jimmy Savile? That is my question. So I think we got one more, then we'll go a break. I think
Jimmy Savile had Hortons. Maybe he was hiding it under that haircut.
I think Jimmy's like we said before, whenever he was around royalty, he was always a star. It's crazy. So we got an example of, and this was my research before.
It's like a massive god badge.
It's a good picture. It's a good picture. But that's Eastern Turkey, and that's what supposedly is Noah's Ark, and it's debatable what even was Noah's Ark as well. There's so many different stories.
A big egg, like a chrysalis, like a cocoon, like a big insect egg,
like a cocoon. Yeah, exactly.
The parasite.
Yeah, parasite. I was thinking the same thing.
Big up god badge, honestly.
Yeah, I know. So yeah, but
So wait a minute. This right? Where is this in Eastern Turkey? Is this near Mount Arak? Is this like
Arak? No.
Is this would be on the steps of the Caucasus Mountains near Turkey?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Oh, the Caucasus Mountains, the blood.
So the Caucasian. So
Caucasians,
right.
Oh
no, I can't talk about that. No.
Yeah, we can. Yes, we can.
No, I can't talk about the difference between white people and Caucasians and why we're not Caucasians if you're Indo-European white. I can't talk about that. You get taken out for hate speech.
Yeah,
oh God.
Yeah, no, you got to be careful.
No, you got to be careful because it's like people think you're some sort of like racist or something if you talk about different words.
Don't think you're a white supremacist, Lance.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I'm a
you've already got that.
I'm a
label,
leading
so
cult
what's the
leader
issue?
and a white supremacist.
You're 77th Brigade
go
as
back
well.
To go back to the last thing now. Just as it's screened off, then it also looks a bit like God's Vag as well, doesn't it?
No, I said that's a big like historical landscape of God. That's the God Vag landscape. Look at that. It's like a Volve.
Look at the shape.
Michael, big Volve. Shit, you can tell when I drink bubbly. The show is so different. I thought this was the last show.
I've had half a litre of Baileys, mate.
Half a litre of Baileys. Give me a pint of Baileys and G&T on an intravenous drip, comrade. Right.
I think we're going to take the break.
Yeah, let's take a break. We need to recapitulate.
Yeah.
Right. I tell you what, it's been an awesome show so far, and we're only less than halfway through this presentation, comrade. Over the beach, run the track.
How long's the break?
10 or 15 minutes, I promise.
Okay, I'll take the dogs for a walk.
Yeah, take the dogs. Survey the perimeter, Master Lee. Put down the goggles.
Yeah, it's good.
Word nerd, put the goggles down. Open up the hatch. Take a look out into the Soviet wasteland.
They try shut down the clubs, they try shut down the raves, but they can't shut down the vibes are running all day. They try lock down the ting, get everybody praying in, but you can't stop the people moving, going back to the rave.
Couple of hours yet. Get up on camera.
went back to the rave.
That's how I like it.
So I use my love, don't get up like lead. Pop that instead of wasting time making rhymes I sped. Yeah, didn't hear what I said, even the flyest please get fed. I got the mind is touching incredibly red and everybody in bed. Fully on the eye, trying to earn my stride. I ain't interested in the likes, this is how I ride. So I get back up on the bike, bigger fish to fry. I ain't investing my time on some dopey vibe. Girl flicks, red pan mic, finger pan decks. So book me if you want to see a bad man step. Come correct, show some respect, me say. Girl know, finger and the red, I go mash out the show. Took it to another level long time ago. In my killer DJ, Van Dilera. I know man, I'm feeling bad. Yeah, I got this in the back. I'm the best she ever had. I got the girl in going mad. Sick, nah, it no good. But sick, wow, she look. I know man, I'm ready. I'm never going steady. I got the complete sound that's heavy. I'll pick it up like Chevy. Us truly, I know our Shelly. The thing so big is I got my shot the bed.
Rise above. Let us know how we sounding, everybody. I'm looking at the comment section. Big up Tom Wilms. Big up Stuart Rogers. Nick Longsworth. Robin Hoodstar. Boom Shankar. David Jackson. Bree. Rob. Where you at? Where you at? Remember, check out Esoteric Night of Malta on YouTube. Check out Inner Guardians on YouTube. If you want to hear more. Big up Sabaja Sal. Easy, brother. Remember, more hoodies are available on the website. More getting added every day.
Enough sound
Ciao. Big up Boom Shankar. Big up Lord Dobesworth. Dragon 67. Comb. Sound of on the beat. I type the rise above Bossy, what you saying? Beats are rolling. Bigger, bigger, badder, badder. Better, come. Bigger, bigger, badder, badder. Better, bass and drum. Bigger, bigger, badder, badder. Better, get ya. Coming out with a critical war. Listen, allow me to hallucinate while the Oma beats choose a break. Break. Allow me to hallucinate. Oma beats choose a break. Bro, now it's time to choose your fate. One, two. Listen. Now it's time to choose your fate. Oma beats choose a break. I'm sorry if the levels ain't right. I'm drinking tonight. Andy 33. Me too, Lord Dudesworth. I'm a transsexual walrus too, brother. Merry Saturnalia, everybody. We come live bigger, badder, better. Listen my selector. Word for word, letter for letter. Bigger, badder. Better, get ya. Coming down with the critical one. Coming down with the critical woo. Bigger, badder, better. Oma beats is my selector. We are tougher than ever, coming tougher than ever. Do your worst, I'll recapitalize better. The greatest apocalypse ever. Ha-ha.